Yeah, it sounds like just like when I was playing God of War.
Okay. Would you rather have an Assassin's Creed game that plays like a God of War game, or a God of War game that plays like an Assassin's Creed game?
The Assassin's Creed game that plays like a God of War game, because I could see an assassin who is like okay, it'd be kind of unrealistic in the sense compared to like what Assassin's Creed does of normal, but it would still
I can't
be,
wait to see the later games.
yeah, but it would very much like still you could do some fun stuff with that. Whereas I feel like if you're playing a God of War game that plays like an Assassin's Creed game, you'd be doing the equivalent of like,
way to create an escape route.
you know,
Oh yeah, I also found the doc that gives us activity feed.
nice.
Amazing.
But yes, I feel like the other way around would
Practically professionals.
Yep.
it would be like the equivalent of one of those like soft reboots that like totally nerfs your character, you know, or something like the kind of like the kinds of things people said about like say Other M.
Okay.
Or whatever. Because if you had a Kratos who was playing like an Assassin's Creed character instead of like Kratos, it would definitely be like, oh, we had to make it more realistic, you know, so Kratos doesn't, lift entire columns all over the place or whatever.
What if you specifically played Child Kratos the entire way through?
That would maybe be more acceptable. I just feel like the both of them would be a serious departure from the original. I just feel like the Kratos one would be more disappointing than having an assassin fight like Kratos, which
Okay.
would be sick as hell.
But you have to think about this factor. This wouldn't work with Child Kratos, I'll admit, but you have to think about this factor. Kratos, in the games, seems to be able to hide his Blades of Chaos, Athena, and whoever else.
I usually just mentally call them the Blades of Chaos, no matter which version it is.
What if they were his hidden blade? He walked up behind them all, sneaky style, and then just the Blade of Chaos emerges from their chest. So like normal God of War, actually.
Yeah.
He like Oblivion stealths up behind him.
Sorry,
Zeus turns his head. Must be rats.
sorry, I'm getting everything set up.
The final boss,
yeah, that's no problem.
assassination mission.
I will tell you, fighting Zeus, more fun than fighting Ares, still not very fun.
Wait till you. If you think fighting Zeus is fun, wait till you fight Zeus.
Yeah. The main thing that really got me was just, it was kind of a very annoying QTE.
Yeah,
Yeah.
God of War, at least the original trilogy, weren't that good at ending.
Yeah. For the most part, like, the execution QTEs and stuff were mostly pretty fine. I did, like, pretty well on most of them and everything. The main thing that really gets me is when it throws in the mash circle when you're not expecting it.
That one does throw me
Because there's sometimes especially on some of them, if you don't know it's going to be mash circle, you're not going to start mashing past them. So I was like fighting Zeus, like I was ready for another individual button press after like 4 of them, and then he immediately kills me because I didn't mash circle instead of press it. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, thanks.
I think they might improve that in 3.
I'm finding out.
I'm not certain, but I think they do. But the way to fix that is to just always mash circle when it becomes the prompt. It is always the best option. I think Altair might be getting bored of us.
Yeah, probably. Sorry, Altair, give me 1 second. I'm busy doing a couple things.
How dare you be busy?
Hey, it was a late start. Okay, so I sent the link to people that need it.
I will be ready to do the same.
That's right. I need to do the rest. Okay.
But yes, I will say I have been greatly enjoying the God of War games so far. I'll be looking forward to playing 3, and very interested to see how the kind of changes play out in the 2018 one.
Sure.
Because I've of course heard it's a really, really good game, but I do know it also diverges fairly hard in kind of the flow of gameplay.
Yeah, I heard Kratos is slightly less angry.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
Yeah. I am mentally envisioning God of War 2018, and compared to the originals as the Wolfenstein 2 versus Wolfenstein 1 of the modern Wolfensteins, and I will find out if that is actually a correct way of or a reasonable way of looking at it once I actually start playing the game.
Here. Don't mind me. Just a random man jogging through.
Come on, come on. I've much to say.
If Kratos has like any significant amount of internal monologue, then I feel like my certain parts of that comparison will very quickly become accurate. However, well, we will get to it eventually, and you'll find the details. One of the things that happens a lot, the first of the new Wolfensteins has a lot of introspection about war and kind of himself as a person and stuff like that.
Up there, you can climb up.
Which does
There
continue
we
in
go,
2, but the
buddy.
tone of it is a little different. In the first one, it's kind of more about how war never changes, not in a Fallout way, but just in a, it's very much about kind of the grimness of it, like the tragedies happening and, how he deals with it, personally. But the second one deals more with both the past and the future. But one of the big things is he feels kind of like he's getting old and getting slow. He's still fighting, but, kind of a big sort of internal thing is you just feel like you're just like getting slow, old man, which is both a very humanizing, internal monologue as it happens, but also he is still jumping out of airplanes to axe murder Nazis. So it's like,
A little bit of dissonance.
not really. The way that it works, it kind of comes together well. Overall, it is still hyperbolic and kind of cartoonish in the extent of the dissonance there, but it's used to only make the emotion stronger. I think it doesn't really make it just seem like a dumb thought process.
Wow, how rude.
But anyway, that's kind of what I'm envisioning a little bit with the God of War reboot. I imagine Kratos is he's more subdued, kind of a little bit more things have changed, but also he's still Kratos and can still axe murder a god. So
I mean, yeah, that's a. So my only experience with modern God of War is conspiracy theories on YouTube and watching Vegeta play the first hour of the game.
God of War seems very Vegeta coded. I'm not gonna lie.
It was extremely Vegeta coded. He even had a good not Trunks.
I'll take your word for it.
I'm just distracted by these guards. Always throws me off how everyone has the exact same fighting style.
I know, right?
I didn't know that they hadn't invented multiple choice back in 12th century Jerusalem. Is it 12th or 13th century?
I think it's
Back in 13th century Jerusalem.
because this is around the time of the Crusades.
Do I look like I know basic history? No, serious question, do I?
Oh, I think you do.
Huh.
Look,
I thought we were
all I
playing
can
it
say,
off. I thought we were playing it off as a joke. So I'm not gonna lie.
all I can say,
Well, I can't ask chat now, can I?
all I can say is that a major Fate fan, I have both an incredibly detailed and incredibly incorrect view of history.
This explains a lot.
Yeah.
I've brushed up on a lot of it with history podcasts.
Not having the best time.
Be gone.
I think you're gonna get shot the moment the Eagle Vision ends.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
You don't.
You know what that guy reminds me of? My
What?
favorite God of War character that isn't Kratos. The captain that you murder in the first one, who keeps coming back.
I love him.
I
remember that guy.
I was not very surprised. I was only slightly surprised when he came back at the end of the first game, but when he came back in the second game, I was like, oh, that really got me.
I'm trying to remember if he comes back in the new series, and I don't think so, but I think there is a reference to him.
I looked it up because I figured it would be an Easter egg at most, and not a spoiler. And yes, there is a reference. I think it's or something. And also, Kratos feels bad about it in the new game.
I knew that one.
He talks to himself about how about it.
Yeah, he shares it with the head character. I think they have a discussion about it. Well, monologue. Yeah, that is the one thing I didn't expect from the new God of War, from the hour I've seen of it. How much Kratos monologues?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, so it's sounding like my Wolfenstein 2 comparisons are more and more accurate, actually.
Yeah, no, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, basically.
So you'll be able to understand once we play Wolfenstein, the Wolfenstein prequel, and Wolfenstein 2.
Look, the only Wolfenstein I played is the original.
Yes, which is why we're going to have to play all three of these, because I know you are going to deeply enjoy what we do to the Nazis.
It's called punching them.
Well, that's a euphemism you could use. Okay, you do punch them.
Oh yeah.
You just also do many worse things. And look, it may not be part of the canonical successful timeline of Wolfenstein, but you can curb stomp Hitler.
Okay, so please tell me that Wolfenstein game got Game of the Year.
I think both of them did.
I think Wolfenstein 3D actually did.
Beautiful. But yes, like the successful mission path in one of these, you do not do that, but like you can just like throw away your stealth infiltration to just KO Hitler.
I mean, word.
Like you get gunned down after if you do it, but you do get an achievement.
You got Hitler.
But yes, you can just decide to throw it away and just kill him. I will say, it's not like a huge movie. I think it does also have the world's funniest depiction of Hitler.
I've seen some pretty funny depictions over the years.
Okay, like the thing is that he is
going to be a difficult topic.
compared to there's kind of a long history of like attempting to parody Nazis, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You know, a lot of times these parodies people like it, and it makes them seem like friendly and stuff like that. That is not what happens here.
Hello from Silver Rogue 6.
Hello.
But yes, one of the traditional problems there is like things like what is it? The producers. I think is kind of about that, right? Where they do like Springtime for Hitler, and it's like that's the whole thing.
How do we think the game's going today?
Well, so far we have not died to glitchy physics, including when jumping off of the Eagle Point. So I think that is a good start so far. Though of course it might happen again.
Doesn't the Animus get an update halfway through this game, or do they only update between games?
I think they only update between games.
Yeah, I think they're
using the same. I think technically they might use a hotfix in one, but it's not like an actual significant update.
What do you require? The letter I've given you must be brought to Salah ad-Din's camp.
Yeah, it's a win.
Seek out the one they call Hisham. He will be able to help, but tell no one else of this.
None will know my mission.
Then our business is concluded.
But yes, the side point there is I think it does not do the like so funny that it's like non-threatening kind of thing. It's like, okay, very threatening, but in a really pathetic loser way.
I
That
know
makes it,
exactly
like,
what you
completely
mean.
like unsympathetic. Like there's no way you can look at the guy and go, oh man, Hitler's so cool. Like he's just like the most saddest, pathetic little guy. But like not in like a cool way for that either. It's like frankly like incredible how well the tightrope is walked of just like completely like zero sympathy from any person on this earth.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
You'll see when we get there. It's one of my favorite missions for several reasons.
Yeah, Nazi depictions have always been kind of hard in comedy. Like,
Oh, yeah.
what is it? The Greatest Dictator from 1921?
I know-
Yeah, the
know
Charlie
the-
Chaplin.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know the
fair.
movie, but I've never watched
Yeah,
it.
Hitler loved that movie, apparently.
Yeah,
He was deliberately mocking him, but Hitler loved it.
Honestly-
it was one of his favorite movies, apparently.
To be fair,
Oh, water strikes
On
again.
the one hand, that surprises me. On the other hand, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Honestly, that
Hitler
legit-
apparently loved watching movies. He would drag his like
Oh, yeah, I
lieutenants
knew
to go
that part.
watch movies
Well,
with
no,
him.
like legitimately, that doesn't surprise me that Hitler found that movie funny.
I know Charlie Chaplin in his
related-
autobiography later
Related moment.
in the 60s talked about how he kind of regretted making the movie because of how awful the Nazis ended up being.
Yeah,
They were so awful, he
fair.
felt like he made a mistake in drawing humor from it.
Yeah. But yeah, so basically, I'll splinter that off in two directions simultaneously. Watch me Tsubame Geishi this.
This will be fun.
Oh boy.
So the first point is just simply, I think there are some criticisms that can be levied at Wolfenstein in general, because the Nazis are like, it does very much lean to kind of the like threatening stormtrooper kind of thing in some ways, and like the hyper advanced technology, but like also it says like, oh, they stole it, but like, you know, there's still some problems with like, oh, you know, the Nazi mad scientist kind of stuff. It is like a little bit like, you know, some people think it's cool, you know, and some of the weapon armor designs and stuff like are kind of cool, you know, it's part of the gameplay thing.
Especially since they go kind of a more sci-fi-esque route with it.
Yeah.
And like, they could have done more with it. With like the cool armor such, while still making them awful. Specifically like the mad scientist stuff.
Yeah, basically, I can definitely see how some people could go with kind of like, think it's kind of like, okay, like a little bit like, you know, overly cool at times, but I think part of that is, you know, with the gaming thing, like, it's understandable.
No, that's cool.
There. But I do think that on the Hitler front, it is like the least possibly, it is the like least possible to misinterpret Hitler
Oh, what are you talking about?
version. It's really good. Well, when we get there,
Hey,
I'll
you'll
look
see.
forward to curb stomping Hitler.
What are you talking about?
But yeah, the other direction here is another kind of like wacky, you know, dictator thing. Is apparently, in a similar vein, Stalin liked to force, like, you know, his like lieutenants and stuff to go do drinking contests with him,
Yeah.
and he was like really good at it. But like, how do you deal with that? Like, what do you do? Like, if you beat him in a contest, like, what is he gonna shoot you? But like, you can't throw the contest. He apparently was really like wanted them to really try. Like, you know, if they didn't try, he could tell and would get mad at them.
He probably didn't shoot them because he wanted to keep the competition.
Yeah, I know, but like, it was like one of those things where like, man, if you,
Yeah.
it was kind of like people would report like it was bad no matter what you did, you know, working with that stuff like that. I just think that one's like that one in particular is kind of like a very funny little anecdote.
Are you saying working for a dictator might be a stressful work
Yes,
environment?
yes, I am.
No, it doesn't seem like it.
Like, could you like it's like working with Darth Vader? Okay, you know, you do well, and okay, you just help like wipe out a planet. You do badly, he kills you,
Yeah, sounds about right.
and even if you don't die, he force chokes you. You know.
Okay, but
no good
everyone
outcome.
knows there is one good way to deal with force choking, with Vader force choking you. Just grab your throat, say
Yeah,
harder,
okay,
daddy,
But you have to
And-
consider
then run while he's distracted.
that you do have
Worst
to
case
consider.
scenario, you remind him of his dead wife.
You do have to consider there is also the chance that he just kills you harder.
Yeah, but he'll kill you faster too. It's a win-win.
I wouldn't say a win-win. You know, maybe your odds are better in some ways.
Look, if
but-
Darth Vader's already choking you out,
I don't need to get on there. Okay, fine.
you're already dead. You might be able to
think
survive it, but you're already
that beam
dead.
was that beam was not a fan.
Yeah, no, that being just didn't want to do anything.
It absolutely refused.
There is no reason for doing that. South comes the English king and his infidel army. They leave horrors in their wake. Salah-ad-Din rides to meet him, that these barbarous acts might be avenged. Pray that God, glorious and exalted
Okay,
is he,
so
finds favor with
So
us,
much random
that he
ranting
may
in these
grant
games.
us victory.
They do a pretty good job of kind of, you know, helping it not feel too empty.
Yeah, like it's not a bad thing, but it's
Stuff.
I definitely notice it sometimes.
Alright. I'm a bird.
But are you a plane?
No, because I'm doing bird things. What are these bird things, you ask? They're
Spying
bird-
for the government.
They're bird things.
Assassin's Creed Spider-Man would be sick.
That would be pretty
That's,
cool.
you
Because
know,
imagine jumping like this, web slinging your way halfway across the city, and just falling on the Pope with a hidden blade.
look, all I'm saying is that I do think that making a Spider-Man game that's just an Arkham Batman game was probably the best possible genre adaptation.
That's fair.
So I respect the Rocksteady Spider-Man for pulling that off. Not Rocksteady. Insomniac Spider-Man. That's what it is. Rocksteady's the...
Make room.
Hey guys.
Is one of those Miles?
Yes.
Yeah, the Insomniac Spider-Man was that one and Miles Morales. Rocksteady does like what? They do something else.
Yeah, I know who you're...
Rocksteady were the ones who did actual Arkham.
Who saved
That's
our
what it was.
city from
Yeah.
certain
But the other thing,
destruction.
the way I was thinking that
He
recently is
spent
because they
his
also did
own coin to see us
the
fed
recent
and
Suicide Squad.
His men
Oh, right,
turned
the one where you
to
killed the
us,
Justice
we might
League?
be
Yeah.
warned.
Or at least
The
that's
one
what I-
called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Yes.
Like, my theory is that they do what the title says, but
Nah, too much effort.
My understanding is they do, which was part of the reason why people were mad, or at least some people,
of course they were.
because it's like implicitly like the much later than all the other stuff because it is Rocksteady, so it is the Arkham Batman that dies.
Oh.
Because it's like implicitly like the same stuff, and so people are like, okay, like after like all these years of the games, we come back to this universe to kill him in like the
Okay,
Suicide Squad
I
game.
can understand why people
And I
would
can
be
understand
upset.
people like that, but also if you didn't want that, then why are you playing the game subtitled "Kill
Yes.
the Justice League"?
Yeah.
You don't have to play the game where they kill him.
To be fair to them, in DC games, half the time when you have a villainous ending, you also have an alternate good ending where you don't end
Well,
up
look,
doing it.
It's called not playing this game.
More generous than a bull knuckle.
Yeah, sometimes they include it in the game though.
And also, to be honest,
That they
when
may
we're
lay
looking at
down
something
their
like
burdens
this,
and know joy.
you know for a
Our days may
fact,
be dark, but thanks to
2
him,
months after
our
the in-game
evenings
point this
are
game
now
ends, they'll
filled
come
with
back
light.
through like weird random bullshit. It's a comic
The
book universe.
merchant
Not
king
true, it might
provides
take him
for
3
one and
weeks.
all. He asks for
2 months
nothing
was
in
an
return.
amortized average.
Let his generosity
Superman
serve
comes
as an
back,
example to us all.
3 months later,
Everyone should strive
but a new
to be as
Batman rises up to take the place of Bruce Wayne within a day. And then he dies when he is killed by the real Batman.
True.
A couple
be
weeks
fair,
after that.
Oh no, I have to go past
When
guards.
he's killed when he runs over him in his bat tank.
I still think the most reasonable Batman was the one who glows golden and then reveals to the Joker
Fine,
that
you
he's the
got one.
Time Lord. Like, that's the most reasonable take on Batman to me. That really captures the essence
Hey, look.
of I got really lucky by being born into the Wayne.
Hi, don't mind me.
According to the Wikipedia page, this game is explicitly considered a spin-off of the Arkham series.
Neat.
Oh, this guy just goes running past. Ah, I'm just gonna climb over you guys.
Also, I have seen some clips from the game. Like, apparently, like the actual, like dialogue and stuff is like fun. Mm-hmm. Like the
I've seen from what I saw in the trailers, it looked fun.
yeah. Like my understanding, I think is the gameplay is kind of mediocre, but like the writing stuff like is fun for like a villain campaign kind of thing.
So it's a super game.
A little bit,
Like,
maybe.
prior to Arkham, they basically didn't make good superhero games.
Yeah. There's like the occasional.
Yeah. Oh, Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction on the GameCube. I think it was one of those where they made different games for different consoles and called them, made them share a name.
I always liked Spider-Man 2, the Xbox GameCube version.
Fair.
I also did
talk,
like
I'll talk.
Xbox Spider-Man 1,
I've
but
no
I don't think that one was
interest in dying
actually
for
very
him.
good.
That's fair.
His coin's not worth
I
my
liked
life.
Spider-Man 3 on the
What is it you want?
PlayStation something.
business with the
I think
Merchant
2?
King.
Might have been 3.
Actually,
Good
one
luck
other
with that.
exception. Spider-Man
He
Shattered
rarely leaves
Dimensions
his
was apparently
chambers.
incredible.
Why?
That's fair.
Is he afraid?
I think I've heard good.
Not fear.
I never played it, but I
He
heard
hates
really
himself
cool
If I
things
as
remember
about it.
much
correctly,
as he
Spider-Man
hates the
3, once you
people he
beat the
pretends to
game,
serve.
you could play as
Locks himself
Venom whenever
away
you
in his
wanted,
personal
and his gimmick
quarters.
thing was his
Out of
timer
shame.
was his health bar. He kept
can't
going
stay
down
hidden
gradually
forever.
the longer
No.
you played.
Those
But you could eat
celebrations of
people.
his.
So
He
like,
comes out to speak, to look
and it
down
was
upon
just
the
so
people.
much fun to just
A sense of
go on
belonging, I
a
suppose. However brief,
assisting the
What's wrong
civilian
with him that he
spree.
would hide like this?
Yeah.
you'll see.
I sound
Now
like
let
I'm on
me
TikTok
go.
now.
Let you go. So you can tell him of my plan?
We're going on
won't
an
say a
unaliving spree.
No, you won't.
like with this guy, right here. Look at him. He's now unalived.
No, I think you just killed him.
No, he's definitely unalived.
I
Tie break for us.
Children of God, please.
Did he unalive or did we kill him?
We deleted him. We're in a computer
But this
simulation.
isn't Final Fantasy Tactics. How can we delete him?
We're in a computer simulation. You can do whatever you want, and in this case, you deleted him.
We,
Point settled.
we definitely need to do the FFT randomizer at some point on this.
Oh yeah. Oh, I agree.
With luck, we won't get stuck on the stupid test map.
In our defense,
We are the true children of God.
We just didn't. We just weren't willing to put in the grind. If we were willing to grind to level 99 in
Yeah,
chapter 2,
We would have been fine.
so we could keep up with them, easy. How did we get that map? It was so bad.
It was funny.
I know randomizers, but like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Honestly, that entire randomizer was great. The fact that we got access to what Bard and Dancer super early, and we just kind of
And didn't we also get like some? Didn't we get access to like some bard skills on a different class too?
Oh, I think we did. I just remembered that our
And
main
Dancer, and
party,
Dancer.
our main party for a while was just dancers and bards.
Yeah.
And we were calling it the Rock Band Party.
It was great.
So I looked up a little bit at the Suicide Squad game.
Okay.
And it does look like this is explicitly a bad timeline, not even just in the Killer Justice League thing, but like the idea is like, oh, the Justice League has been controlled by Brainiac, and so the
Oh.
Suicide Squad has to kill him before they like kill everybody. But like, it apparently ends with like, okay, he's taken over all these other universes too. We need to go deal with them. Kind of like an open-ended. We still have like all of this war to fight kind of thing.
I mean, its name is Kill the Justice League. Aren't you gonna assume it's a bad timeline?
Yeah, I know. I just mean like it's not even like it ends there. Like it's like this timeline is like stuck fighting Brainiac for like another 30 universes.
Come no further.
You know, it's bad there.
Clearly, they need to recruit Supergirl and go
It
into
does
the
appear
future.
to have it
It
does
solves the
have
problem.
a separate entry listed in the plot note, which I assume is a DLC because it is called
DLC.
Season of the Joker.
You want information
That
about
sounds
the
like a
city, I
DLC.
suppose?
Specifically, where it says that Waller
Right
sends
now,
the
I
squad
don't
to
have time.
Joker Earth, an
Must
alternate
find some
universe where
flags which
Brainiac
have been stolen
terraformed
from our
Metropolis
cache
using the
in
DNA
rich
of the
district
Joker,
of Damascus.
who became the Earth's
But
sole
with this
survivor
heat,
after the invasion.
My legs cannot carry me anymore.
I
Would
don't know
you
what
be
the
kind
hell
enough
else
to
is
help
going
me?
on here, but I assume that this
Return
is
the
probably
flags
an
and I'll
entire
help
like
you
set of
as best I
DLC missions or something.
Isn't there a timeline where Joker like fuses with Superman's like backwards name guy, the Chaos Entity villain?
Mr. Mitzelplick?
Yeah, he
Or whatever.
kills like 99.9% of that guy's power.
Let me go.
And then just uses it to screw with the entire universe or possibly
mean, maybe.
multiverse. Like Emperor Joker or something.
It's forbidden for you to be here.
Anyway, the Joker gets way too many like god tier power-ups.
Yeah.
Like he's just a dude with some silly face paint.
I know, right?
Well, okay. Simple thing here is very simple, and that is, I think
Wow.
if you're playing
Wow.
Got in the hay bale though.
if you're playing a Suicide Squad game, having like a Joker DLC like that makes sense.
That's fair.
Yep. No, that's fair.
If I remember correctly, this is the one I heard some bit about the Harley Quinn design
Are you
development
kidding me?
before the game came out. And I think this was the one where they were like, this is a Harley Quinn that really embraced her villain phase as like a counterpoint to the other Harley Quinns, like in the Harley Quinn show, for example, that kind of became better people once they got away from the abusive ex.
Yeah. No, that's
And this is one who was just like, I'm a villain, I'm happy with it, I'm proud of that, I'm living my best life, killing people. And
yeah, living your best life.
I just
Lately.
appreciate that they decided that was the route to take.
Doing that?
I really hope this was the game they did it in, but if not... Altair seems to be kind of flagging today.
Yeah. It's kind of my fault. I keep missing things. Like that.
Okay, part of that is just the slightly more limited comparative, stuff. The parkour is just not as refined as in the later games.
Hi.
I'm Jim.
Hi.
Well, I was about to say you haven't lost synchronization, so this is all in character, but...
Yeah, I got it. Where is his block? I think it's time.
Someone save me from this. ها هو لا تدعوه يفلت.
There it is. I'm just going right past it.
What's your You're on a time limit here.
Yep, I am.
Still got 10 seconds.
I see. Collecting the flags was the
Infidel die!
time limit. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was doing a bad job at collecting them earlier, so I lost like a couple minutes.
Okay, turns out that wasn't
We're
in character
fairly
for
close, I
Altair.
guess.
I know these are all supposed to just be like fun little missions in the Animus to keep Desmond's focus on them. But I really want them to be real, actual events that happen in this Assassin's Creed timeline.
I think this actually was the case in 1.
The first couple are, like some of them are canon, but I don't think most of the missions are canon.
So you do 3 of them, and then I think the rest are extras. So it's like random which ones are actually. So Altair did some of them. Which ones are the some are the ones that you played. That's pretty much what it is.
So if you play all of them, they're all canon.
Sure. They're not gonna.
I love Altair's idea of giving up, just turning around and murdering a guy, and then breaking another's arm.
Just a pro gamer move.
Didn't even stab that guy, he just punched him in the dick.
May God have mercy on your soul.
Like I give up trying to go. I give up trying to look for hay bale or going up to the roof because I know if I tried to climb up the roof, they would just throw a rock at me and knock me down again.
Yeah, that's fine. Altair is so mean.
Yeah, he is an assassin. Being nice isn't exactly his job.
I mean, yeah.
They don't pay him to be nice. They also don't pay him at all. The downsides of being an assassin for a,
Cult.
yeah,
A word you're looking for is called.
yeah, instead of an assassin for hire. Yeah, he's super for hire. You get paid.
Oh no, you get paid. You get paid in abilities.
That is true. They did magically grant us the ability to tackle,
That's impressive.
which is nice.
Finally.
Just you wait. Kane will come back from a mission and he'll say, Altair, I have now taught you how to double jump. I loved how, like, so many characters from a genre where you shouldn't be able to do that just can double jump. It's just a thing you can do. You know?
How do you do?
Were you a third-person platformer anywhere in the 2000s? You can double jump.
I hear that's one of the effects of HRT as well. About 9 months in, start double jumping.
Sounds about right.
That is the moral of the story in Celeste.
See? Evident.
Hey, perfect.
Someone wrote it down, so whoever made Celeste is a scientist.
Perfect.
Red hair and can air dash. That's how it is. It's an entire genre. Red-haired protagonist who can air dash.
Sounds about right.
I believe it. I'm pretty sure I played at least 3 games that match that description.
Okay. Try this again. This time without, like, spending so much time flailing around.
Have you considered just killing every guard you see?
I mean, yeah, but...
You had like 2 minutes or so at the end when you were missing those last couple.
Yeah, but I didn't want to fight them because I didn't want to take all the time.
Yeah, that's why you just kill him on the way over. You see a dude on the rooftop? Stab.
The people on the rooftop are not going to be that much of an issue.
But they're gonna glare at you.
If the town guards get in your way, you just whoosh.
Man's got a point.
Yeah.
That's what you do when you're Lord of the Dance, Mistress of Magma. I was thinking about that again for the first time in a long time the other day.
I don't know how long it's been since I thought of that.
Mostly it was as a consequence of thinking about webcomics I hadn't read in a long time, but used to really like.
That's fair.
Because I was reminded of Misfire, which I've read much more recently than the Living Recruit, but still.
I always manage to forget Mistfile exists until someone
They
brings it up.
finished it a couple of years
Then I
ago,
think we'd
which
be
is why
happy
I
to see
need to
this
catch
flag
up so that I can know how it
Perhaps
ends.
this morsel of information
That's
will
I just have to know.
I was invited by Abu
This
to
will
one
either
of his
narrow it
labs.
Never
down
know.
completely
I
or won't
noticed the
narrow it down
fountain
at
in the
all.
middle of the merchant
But the
king's
last thing that
palace
was
could be
happening in
easily
Mistfile was the main character
this
had just
information
lost
wisely.
a car race.
Now,
That doesn't
if you'll
narrow
excuse
it
me,
down.
Yeah,
I
that-
must go.
Actually, okay, it does. It could be 50% of points in the timeline.
Hey, that narrows it down a lot more than I thought it would.
All right. Well. La di da di da. Don't mind those two suspicious people.
Wait, if everything that happens in the Anubis is definitely 100% canonical truth, then what is Altair building up his synchronization?
Oh, I jumped.
It's his synchronization to Desmond, obviously.
Yeah. I think it's.
It's an echo back in time from the apple.
Escape from
Yeah.
a fight.
Wait,
They explain it all at the end of the game. Just wait.
so every single assassin doesn't have the skills of an assassin. They developed it several hundred years after their deaths, when Desmond becomes them and synchronizes with them, learning these skills. Thus, they're able to synchronize with Desmond and learn the skills from him he learned from them.
Yeah, it's the closed time loop.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Desmond, in fact, bad wolfs the entire assassin order.
Don't you there. Thank you.
Honestly, wouldn't surprise me at this point, considering
La di da.
that fits the timeline as far as I know.
I am the bad assassin, and I assassinate myself. Or something to that effect.
They leave horrors in their wake.
Obviously, Altair could be Grand Assassin.
Oh yeah. No, I can see that.
Ezio,
Stand in defense
I could see Grand Caster, considering he's a teacher.
Okay, I have to...
Which would be the funniest Grand Caster? What does Desmond get? Grand Foreigner?
Look,
Grand Faker?
I'm not saying Grant, but I would say, of all of the assassins to summon in a different class, and okay, not Foreigner, I would call Desmond Alter Ego.
Yeah, no, I could see that.
Because he contains the amalgamated memories of multiple other characters, since he has the memories of all the assassins.
Okay, that's a really good argument. But again, Faker.
Look, it's plausible there.
Altair, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Whose life do
Anyway,
you come to
I
collect
think though
today?
of the funniest
His name is
of like
Abu
alternate
Nakul.
class options here, because like
Oh,
obviously like
the
okay,
merchant king
in
of
theory,
Damascus,
any of
richest
them could
man
be
in
like
the
oh
city.
like Saber or
Quite
something because they
exciting
had a
and
sword, you
dangerous.
know, or whatever.
I
But obviously
envy
those would be very
Altair.
weak
Not
manifestations.
the bit where you
You know,
beat him
much
to
further
the
from their
rank,
comfort zone and everything.
but I
Assassin
envy
would probably be
everything
the
else.
best
Oh,
class
except for
fit
the
for most
terrible
of these.
things the other assassins say about you. But yes, aside from the
I
failure
would
and
probably
the
say
hatred,
Caster,
yes,
you know,
aside from
Ezio
those
could
things,
maybe
I
work.
envy
Oh,
very
Black
much.
Flag as a writer.
If you're
That's
finished,
pretty
Yes,
easy
that
one.
was,
I've
what
gathered
I
the
was going to say though
information
was
required to begin my task.
Ezio Rider, where his
You
noble
work quickly.
phantasm
Tell me what
is
you've learned.
Leonardo da
Okay.
Vinci's.
Bonaparte is corrupted
No,
to
I was
the
going to
core,
say da
despised by his
Vinci's
own
initial
citizens as
original
himself.
hang glider.
Oh, yeah,
Appears
that's
he
true.
thinks
That
the
you
only money
use?
meant for the people of Damascus is spending it on
Okay,
himself.
but if we're gonna go that
Even
far,
as
we
his
might
big
as well make
responses
Ezio's
leak.
And
noble
as a-
phantasm Da Vinci.
Well,
guards
basically,
and
at the consequence,
servants are
it's the
handful
armament
dealing
Da
with
Vinci
guests.
created for
They
him,
won't
so he
even
can
know
use
it's there.
every one of Da Vinci's like
Most
unfinished
impressive,
original
my friend.
prototypes.
The
He has like
others
the
said
Da
you
Vinci
make a mess
flying
of
machine
things,
and you know
but not
everything
I.
like
No,
that.
I
That'd
was
be so
sure you'd come
overpowered
through.
and
And
fake.
It's
through
gate.
you
It's like the
have.
equivalent of like Gate of
beauty
Babylon,
is
right?
to do
It's
it
you know,
as
it's
it
just you know
pleases
the
you, ready
armaments
to
of
begin.
Leonardo or something, you know, and he could just pull out his pocket anything he's ever made for him.
Great.
Incredibly funny.
I could see it getting a name like Gate of Mind or something, True Mind's Gates, something weird like that. That doesn't
God,
fit
what's
the
the
noble
name of the,
phantasm at all.
What's the name of that? That
Nameless?
no, the thing Da Vinci actually like is famous for and uses the NP in Fate in the base version, the
Homo
Vitruvian
Universalis?
Man.
Yeah, the Jervy man. Okay.
Yes, which I think is it's based on the same concept there.
Yeah, well-
yeah, the Vitruvian Man. I would probably call it like you know the Vitruvian
Universal Man,
Arsenal
yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, Gate of Man, I could totally see on Da Vinci as also a bit of a little,
I feel like,
not safe for work joke.
but anyway, it's definitely a. I think it would be one of the like Because obviously, like, all of them could be assassin. That's an easy one, you know? But I think if you wanted to do something interesting, that could be a pretty good thing.
Who wouldn't? Which member of Desmond's family tree wouldn't be summoned as an assassin? Remember, everyone.
I don't think. I think all.
Everyone you
I think
can
the Black
play.
Flag one would primarily be right. Yeah, that is the pirate thing to do.
He tempts us always.
And honestly, it can depend a little bit, but I would say once you get to Odyssey, I'd say Lancer would be your primary class there.
Odyssey was one of the ones I was going to bring up as maybe not an assassin.
Yeah, so like obviously they could qualify for assassin. I think still, you can do assassinations, but you are. I don't know how much you know about Odyssey specifically. I remember a little bit. You are descended from Leonidas, and you
I remember that.
have the broken head of his spear as your dagger early on. So I could totally see a Lancer version wielding the restored spear of Leonidas as a primary weapon.
That would be really cool, actually. Even
Welcome, welcome. Thank you all for joining me this evening. Please eat.
This is such an
drink,
incomprehensible
enjoy
conversation,
all
I'm
the
sure.
pleasure
are any of our conversations
I have.
comprehensible?
I'm sure some of them are.
Take your time. I will wait.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't
trust
know how
everything is to your
Alistair Altair is
satisfaction.
passing these stealth checks.
Very carefully. You know, somebody else's problem field on its ropes.
Good, good. It pleases me to see you
Alistair
all so
in
happy.
Assassin's Creed.
For these
Would he be
dark
tempted?
days, my friends, and we must enjoy this.
Yes, but he would
bounty
defect to
while
join you.
we still
He'd be
can.
the worst Templar ever.
Because you would
War
swoop in
threatens
and
to
kill his
consume us all.
commanding officer.
But isn't
And he
swooping
would say
bad?
something about swooping being bad, yes.
And you are always there to
Which
support
obviously
him
there's
without
much more to his
question.
character than that, but you do have to
It
throw
is
in the
your
meme jokes
generosity
sometimes.
Yeah, he also likes cheese.
Continue.
That is true.
So,
I think he has a
With
third
which he can,
trait, but I don't know.
with which he can bond
You, my dear
with the
friend,
French assassin.
You have brought us to where we are today. May you be given everything you
Incredibly
deserve.
dumb, I know.
I surrender.
We were just talking about Alistair, not the
Kindness.
French assassin.
I think it in you. You who have been so quick to judge me and so cruel. Oh, do not feign ignorance. Do you take me for a fool? That I have not heard the words you whispered behind my back. Well, I have, and I fear I can never forget. But this is not why I called you here tonight. No. I wish to speak more of this war and your part in it. You give up your coin quick as can be, knowing all too well
here to
lies
murder
the
him?
deaths
Yes.
of thousands. You don't even know why we fight.
The conversation was so
The sanctity of the
incomprehensible, I have
Holy
no
Land,
idea
I'll
what we're
say,
doing anymore.
or the evil inclination of our enemies. But these are lies you tell yourselves. No. All this suffering is born of fear and hate. It bothers you that they are different, just as it bothers you that I am different.
Okay, we're gonna find out about that later.
That he's different? I think he just told us.
No, I have just internally
These
confirmed
words mean
that they
nothing
would
to any
absolutely
of
be
you.
Lancer class.
Mean nothing to
Oh,
those
no.
infidel
The Spear of
invaders
Leonidas is a
who
piece of Eden.
ravage our land in search
Oh,
of gold
yeah.
Is that the
and glory.
immortality
And
one?
so
I don't know.
say,
I don't know what any of them do except the apple.
I've pledged
And what the apple
myself
does is
to
whatever
another
the plot
cause.
wants it to.
One that will bring about a
This
new
guy is
world
our camera.
in which
This guy is
all
also-
people
Also the key.
might
The key
live
only opens the vault. That's the one
side
thing
by
it does. That one's clear.
That's not.
in peace.
Doesn't he do something else too?
The only part I care about is that it opens the vault.
I could have sworn it had a second effect.
Basically, I have no idea what it does, but apparently it is a piece of Eden, which I think automatically confers it noble phantasm status.
That's fair. I know there's one piece of Eden that,
Oh, I know the papal staff is one too.
yeah, there's one that lets you.
Master Ezio with the papal
Anyone who
staff.
tries to escape
So good.
Oh man,
There's one that lets you
doing some Martha.
These random people that just died.
Yeah, there's one piece of Eden. I think it might be the spear actually. That gives no, it's something connected to Poseidon. I think. Eternal life and constantly restores your body. And I only know this because someone was trying to figure out some excuse for two assassins to have sex in the middle of a nuclear wasteland? Because the piece of Eden protects you from radiation poisoning. And I only know all of this because of Tumblr. And I think it's some Poseidon thing.
Don't mind me.
But it also might be the Leonidas thing, because I know it's connected to the Odyssey protagonist.
Oh. Don't mind me.
Okay, so what I have learned is that there were many more pieces than I might have thought.
I'm gonna guess like 56.
I don't know the specific number off the top of the list here, but what I am saying is there are implied to be almost 10 different apples of Eden. It's not a singular artifact. I did not know that. I thought the apple was one of the pieces and it was a singular thing.
Oh, okay.
Get back here.
Yeah, I thought at the end of this game, I always assumed the apple was, that most of the pieces of Eden that you discover in the early series, most of the ones in discover locations, were supposed to be apples, so I thought.
I always kind of thought that it was more like a millennium items kind of thing, where there's like a specific number and each one has its own specific powers, and like this is the apple, you know, this one's the staff, etc. But I guess there were numerous apples and similar artifacts. A couple of shrouds, a couple of different spears, a couple of different staves. Some of them had unique effects, some of them were very consistent. I guess there were multiple swords, most of which shot laser beams, which I guess we're already fitting right into the fake crossover here.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if this might be fake canon. Wait, is this how the moon cell happened?
Probably.
Were these people responsible for the moon cell?
There we go.
Well, not
Be
him,
at peace
obviously,
now.
but...
Their words can no longer do
So
harm.
there are many
have
pieces.
you done this?
You stole money from those you claim to lead, sent it away for some unknown purpose. I want to know where it's gone and why.
Look at me. My very nature is an affront to the people I ruled. And these noble robes did little more than to muffle their shouts of hate.
Isn't the weird
So this is
DNA they
about
have and
vengeance,
the
then?
Eagle Vision and everything? Isn't that DNA
No, not
specifically a
vengeance.
different color?
But my conscience.
Maybe?
I don't
Like it
know.
manifests
How could
gold
I
or something
finance a
somehow?
war
That sounds
in
good.
service to the same god.
If it sounds
that
vaguely
calls
familiar,
me
I'll assume it's
an
right.
Abomination.
If you do
Wouldn't
not serve
that
Salah ad-Din's
imply
cause, then
that the
whose?
entire Assassin's
In
Order,
time, you'll
or at
come
least
to
all the
know
ones
them.
related to
I think
Desmond,
perhaps you already do.
Then why
are
hide?
pieces of Eden?
Why these dark deeds?
Probably.
Is it so different from
Is
your
their
own?
blood a piece of
You
Eden?
take the
Is
lives
that
of
why
men
genetic
and
memories
women
work?
Strong in the
Maybe.
conviction that their death will
Maybe.
improve the lots of those left behind.
That's probably so
A
much
minor
better than whatever
evil
excuse
for a
canon
greater
has.
good.
They have one.
We are the same.
But yes,
No,
final conclusion
we are
though is
nothing
if
alike.
the spear is a piece of Eden,
but I
then
see it
being
in
the
your
inheritor of a
eyes.
legendary piece of
You
Eden spear
doubt.
qualifies you for Lancer class.
You
Especially if it is the one
cannot
weapon you never
stop
lose
us.
throughout the whole game,
We will
because it's your
have our
hidden
new
blade,
world.
quote unquote, in that
Still
game.
so funny.
It's just the broken spearhead of Leonidas' spear. So, yeah.
Still think the coolest possible hidden blade
Bye.
alternative has to just be a live snake.
That's pretty good.
Like there's that statue, and I
Don't mind me.
think in one of Ezio's games, I think two, but it might have been one of the later ones.
Don't mind me.
And it's a female assassin from Egypt. I think she's specifically called the first assassin in that game. And she's got a snake around her wrist for hit blade.
Oh my god, that reminded me of the craziest thing I learned the other day.
Also, have a good night, Civil Rogue 6.
So, okay, so
They just posted in chat that they're leaving.
oh, gotcha. Well, have a good night.
Have a good night.
But so, we'll get to the part where that reminds me of that at the end of this brief story. So I will skip most of this because most of this is irrelevant. But at one point in time, one of the very first addiction recovery groups in America,
Not where I thought this would be going.
which I can't remember the exact name of right now, but it was basically one of the very first ones, which started as kind of like an alcoholic thing, but became one of the very first ones that also supported like drug addiction and stuff too. because it was mostly at that point in time, you know, it was okay, send them to the asylum or throw them in jail kind of thing.
When was this?
This was kind of like early 1900s, I feel like. But I'm probably mixing up the time frame.
My guess would be 20s or 30s.
Yeah, like I think it's kind of in that period.
No, actually, I could see teens. Pretty reasonable, actually. Anyway, addiction support group, early 1900s.
Yeah, basically it was kind of led by this guy. He was a recovering alcoholic at first, but it became a thing that became popular with drug users and stuff. And it was, you know, in some ways very cool. Apart from like, you know, it was had, you know, some weird stuff, but like it was more effective than most of those at the time
The past is the forward.
because it was more like kind of an Alcoholics Anonymous sort of style thing than throw them in prison and call them, you know, sinners for doing drugs.
That seems like a pretty crazy concept. You sure the prison and the sinner thing wasn't working better?
Yes, pretty sure. But so the point is that it started like that. You know, it did have some like weird stuff with the interactions. It kind of became more cult-like over
no.
time, to the point where they decided, you
Please
know,
tell me it's just they didn't go the route of the Kellogg guy.
no,
I can only have so many of those chairs.
Word has reached me.
they
of your
decided
success, Altair.
that they kind of needed their own
Abuna Kun's reign of
militia to
terror is
fight
at
the
an end.
enemies of
I'm
their
glad to hear it.
addiction recovery
Killed
group.
them. The men and women in his party.
So they were a little
It was
bit more
poison,
like
a coward's
Scientology
tool.
direction in a
Blamed them
way.
for the
Considering
war.
when it
Said he
happened,
wished to end it.
that's not a guarantee.
Yeah, part of this
Then
was like
again,
they got off really well
Russian
because it
kings want to be a
honestly
bit
was a good program for so many people
Perhaps this was simply
before
a
it started
symptom
getting
of
a
his
little further
madness.
off the deep end later
Perhaps.
on, which kind of gave them a
You
lot
sound
of leeway.
unconvinced. Speak
And in
with
particular,
Anwar, then.
the
He
fact
may
that it
offer a
was
better explanation.
run differently,
Yes. We'll see what he has to
but
say.
wasn't like a direct medical thing, meant that they actually had kind of a weird legal exemption at the time. Because normally to like do that kind of recovery thing, they would have needed like a medical, not medical license, but like some sort of medical like licensing thing for the group. But when they eventually kind of changed the law there, because it was very popular, famous people were visiting it and stuff, that it became a they got an exemption to that because like, okay, they're not doing medical stuff, we'll give them a different set of rules. But then here's the thing, they never passed the laws to give, or they never created the like, you know, committee that would give them their own individual set of rules. So they just didn't
Speak with me
have
alone.
rules.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me in the
Word has
slightest.
reached me of your success.
Anyway, it kind of got further out of hand. The guy got
Of my
crazy, you know.
gratitude
People,
and that
you
of
know,
the realm.
started, you know, campaigns against them and
Freeing
stuff, and
these
the guy would,
cities
you
from
know,
their corrupt leaders
get
will no
wacky about
doubt
it. He
promote
would
the
do things
cause
like go
of
on and it was like,
peace.
oh, you know, after like some guys
Can
like
you
blew up some
really
guy's
be
car
so
or something.
sure?
I was like, oh, you know,
means by which men rule
I
reflect
have no
in
idea
their
what they were
people.
doing. I certainly wouldn't advocate
As
for
you
anything like
cleanse
that. But
the
all I'm
cities of
saying, you know,
corruption,
is well,
you
you
heal
know,
the
these
hearts
guys,
and
they're
minds
crazy.
of
They
those
could do
who are
anything,
wounded.
you know. If people keep
Our
talking
enemies
bad
would
about us,
disagree.
you know,
What
who
do you
knows
mean?
what could happen to them or their
Each man I've
families.
slain has confessed
Like
strange
literally
words
that
to me.
level of
They are
blatantness,
without
like in news
regret.
interviews and stuff.
Even
And
in
it
death,
kind of
they
caught
seem
up with him
confident of their
eventually.
success.
After
Though they
the
do not admit it
incredibly
directly.
public
Well, that's a hopeful
There is
sign
a
for the
tie that
future.
binds
and
them.
incredibly
I'm sure of it.
basically
There
like
is a
some of it kind of
difference,
was like
Altair,
hard to
between what
prosecute,
we
like
are
had weird
told
stuff
to be
going on, you
true
know, but like
and what we
well, it basically
see
got so big that it could not possibly
Most
be
men do
ignored,
not
and he
bother
could
to
not
make the distinction.
could not just
Simple
completely
as
deny. He was
an
too
assassin,
full of it,
it is your
you know,
nature
too
to
proud to
notice,
like just
to
say I
question.
have no idea what happened.
Then what is it that connects these men?
Was that one of these
but
guys, like
as
some
an
lawyer
assassin,
that was campaigning
It
against
is
him, was
also
running a
your
lawsuit
duty
against
to
this guy,
still these thoughts and trust in your master.
was mailed,
can be no
or not
true
mailed,
peace
somebody had
without order.
tried to assassinate him
Order requires
with a
authority.
live rattlesnake
circles,
in his
Master.
mailbox.
Commend me for
That's
being
where
aware,
this
then ask me
came.
not
That's
to be.
where the
Yes,
story
which
came
is
from.
assassination by snake,
Question
for
will be
real.
answered when you
They
no
had
longer
cut
live.
off the rattle so it wouldn't be
This
noisy.
is not
called me here
what
for
I
more than
thought
just a
was the
lecture.
responsible for this.
Very well.
Yeah, they had cut off the rattle so that it
and
wouldn't be
weapons are
loud
being
and stuffed the
restored.
live rattlesnake in the guy's
2 more
mailbox.
leaders remain.
Fortunately,
Go as
he didn't get
their
bit,
rule
but like it
is
was a
ended.
close thing.
That's
And of course, the guy couldn't just completely deny it. He like gave a like half denial, and they cracked down hard.
I wonder why.
Because of course, you know, oh yeah, the lawyer who was suing them had a live rattlesnake put in his mailbox, became a little too newsworthy for them to just be ignored.
So, unrelated to all of that,
All I'm saying is they are in the great and honest tradition of the Assassin Order.
100%, unrelated to all of that, don't you hate it when your phone updates
Altair, it seems my students do
and
not fully
just drops a
understand what
bunch
it
of
is to
random
wield the
apps on
blade.
your phone you don't want
Perhaps
to
you could
download?
show them what you know.
Yes.
Nothing worse in the world I guess the rattlesnake might be slightly, but like, other than a rattlesnake in your mailbox from a cult leading Alcoholic Anonymous leader?
Okay, this was later than I was thinking.
70s?
Yeah, so it originally started in 1958 and kind of went on closer to the 70s.
Other than that,
Is how we all
apps
should
getting
fight.
installed on your phone against your will, just as bad.
Yeah, it's equally as bad as having a rattlesnake in your mailbox. Okay, yes, they initially did that.
You must be busy. I understand. Such wild swings will give your enemy
Okay,
an
yeah,
opening.
1978 was when this rattlesnake thing happened. Following, let's see, several NBC executives allegedly received tons of threats. 2 Synanon members placed a de-rattled rattlesnake in the mailbox of an attorney who had successfully brought a suit against them. The snake bit him and he was hospitalized for 6 days. The incident, along with the press coverage, prompted a law enforcement investigation.
Unnoticed into guarded areas.
Oh yeah. 6 weeks after that, so the guy got like a PA system where he would broadcast to like all of the offices of like this growing cult, you know, his thoughts and like orders and stuff like that. So what happened is 6 weeks after the attack,
A lot of witnesses.
LAPD performed a search and found a recorded speech by him in which he said, "We're not gonna mess with the old-time turn the other cheek religious postures. Our religious postures don't mess with us. You can get killed dead, literally dead. There are real threats. They are draining the life's blood from us and expecting us to play by their rules. We will make the rules. I see nothing frightened about it. I am quite willing to break some lawyer's legs, and next to break his wife's legs and threaten to cut the child's arm off. That is the end of that lawyer. That is a very satisfactory, humane way of transmitting information. I really do want an ear and a glass of alcohol on my desk." So, you know,
Awkward.
I can see why he got arrested after that and the rattlesnake thing.
That's awkward.
So, just, yeah, in recording saying, yes, I actually want you to kill our enemies, murder them and let me know, put their body parts on my desk. You know, by the way, this is a recording, in case the police are listening.
Just an absolute mastermind.
This is why the podcast I was listening about this, they're like, okay, this guy didn't make it quite as big, but they were personally kind of holding him up on the same level as L. Ron Hubbard. Yeah, just kind of like completely out there cult guys, you know?
Are we supposed to be allowed to laugh at this?
Okay, the guy didn't die to the rattlesnake thing, so we are allowed to laugh about it. It might have been worse if he was actually killed, but like he did survive. And I do have to say, of all of the methods of assassination I've ever heard, stick a live rattlesnake in their mailbox is definitely pretty crazy out there.
Okay, 10 points eliminated.
I feel like
He just couldn't disavow.
I will say
He had to be in control of his whole organization, you know? He couldn't just say, oh, I don't know those guys.
post World War II, 20th century, great period for wacky failed assassinations.
That is true.
You've got everything the CIA, FBI, one of them was doing against Fidel Castro. You've got
Not even getting started on all their other wacky bullshit they did.
yeah, no, just honestly, if you just touch on that one,
Whatever European country it is where they tried to blow up the guy's car and it flipped his car up over a building onto another street.
I believe it, but I don't remember hearing about
any
it.
details about this, but it was some, you know, same kind of like time period, you know, where like they tried to plant a bomb on the street under his car.
Yeah.
And it was way too powerful.
Not an assassination, and this might have happened in the 2000s, or it might have been the 90s, or some other period of time. Time's fake, and I'm unfamiliar with it. Also, the Australian Prime Minister just going swimming and disappearing. Pretty funny way to lose the leader of your country.
That's fair.
Like, in terms of ways people have lost the leader of their country, that one's up there.
You dirty thief! In for I'll have your hands for that! You're a dead man!
I wonder if this is the content people want to hear.
Probably.
Oh wow, got him right in the drinking water. Good job. Ooh, twofer.
I never regret that. It's such a hard thing to look up that specific story about the car explosion thing. But I I remember hearing about this as like, you know, just kind of one of those like wacky like attempted assassinations in Eastern Europe kind of thing. You know?
Okay.
Fortune favors me today. God only knows what foul deeds those men intended to commit. Good of you to arrive when you did,
Who's
stranger.
responsible for this?
I'll see to
Who's
it that my
responsible
husband
for
is
this?
of your
Maybe not the guy
bravery.
that's talking to the woman.
I can't think of anyone.
Who saw what happened here?
Heathen! You'll die for that!
How did they figure out who did it?
There. Alright, sorry, random guard, I actually do have to go in this direction. Don't worry, I'm not following you. Not trying to follow you specifically. We just happen to be going the same way. Just secret nights. We're just going to take a breather.
Okay, it would be really funny if Altair took that leap of faith and somehow bounced off the hay into the water.
That would be fine. I do not want to grab that. I want the jump.
Yeah, I'm really glad that they refined the parkour system.
Oh yeah, same. Because I remember it being a lot better.
It definitely gets better as we progress through.
I think the one time I replayed this game, the only time I did, I was just like, everything's missing. That's what it feels like. All of the systems you're used to are just missing in this game. Due to, you know, being the first, obviously.
They let you come and go as you please. I thought the fortress was closed to all.
Aye, but William wishes to have repairs completed as soon as possible. It's been to our advantage.
The perfect cover. It's clever.
Anyway, I've finished my report and should deliver it.
For once, it seems things might go our way. And not
That
by
person
accident.
sure is
Well, the Bible does say God helps those who
bending
help
the laws
themselves.
of physics.
Nah, it doesn't,
Yeah.
actually.
You
That's
might
one of
not
the
be.
Aesop's fables.
That might be
The Bible
natural.
says quite the
They've
opposite.
mastered the dramatic
Many passengers
breeze.
are being patient and faithful and waiting for the Lord to
But they're
decide
using it
if
wrong.
he wishes to assist.
Well, I say we've waited long enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
no argument from me.
Very well, I'm off then.
Yeah, I'm still doubting it's the breeze. Just too focused on a single point, in my opinion.
Don't win my way around.
You say I wish this was good?
Some kind of like pastry thing, and I saw they had these like, it was like a pecan day, and I thought that sounded pretty good.
Did it not turn out that way?
Way too dry. I was kind of
Just
expecting a
what you
little bit more
learned.
actual, like, you know, pecan level stuff.
You die!
Well, more if you get the pecan pie or something.
I'll cut you down! Outrun you!
I'm just trying to remember what a pecan pie tastes like. It's been so long, I can't.
The point is, it's like mostly like just kind of like a very dry and not very sweet kind of version of like the basic Danish pastry, with like a very light layer of like pecan stuff on top.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun at all.
Whereas the regular Danish is like a lot thinner and has a lot more of like the jelly or type stuff or whatever it has in it.
Makes sense.
So these ones are just kind of
Meh.
meh. Yeah, that's a good word for it. I wish it was good.
Well,
I like pecan pastry.
If wishes were assassins, we'd have an entire order by now.
Buy an assassin for every time I wished some cool thing that didn't come true. I would have a lot more than just 2, let's be real.
I would have 3.
But it's weird that it happened twice.
Yeah.
And informer. Okay, okay. So.
I will say, in terms of,
Okay.
I'm not sure that was leap of faith for me. Like, I don't think you need faith to survive that one.
Yes, I can outrun you. I've been outrunning you guys for a while.
I'm seeing all kinds of different late now.
You just killed someone! I saw him do it! Meldig einem göttlichen Urteil!
Yeah, I just had to decide what to do.
Yeah, this game was more defensive than the longer later ones, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Like, I know you can get through the entire game pretty reliably if you just counter. I think there's a video on YouTube of someone doing that exact thing.
The Assassin's Creed equivalent of Luigi wins by doing nothing.
Yeah.
It's my favorite joke of all time, possibly.
That's a good one. I will say, I forget the name of the speedrun. I think it's the disabled Mario speedrun and kick Mario past your door. So, it has 3 rules. Mario can't jump. Mario can't use a hammer or any other action command. I think he might be allowed to use star power. I'm not sure. And he has to equip the double pain badge, which, if you're not familiar, every point of damage you take, you instead take 2. So the entire run is just Mario hiding behind his entire party as they deal with all of your problems. And I have managed to get past like 3 fights trying to do it myself.
Oh God, don't kill me! Oh,
Not even boss
it's
fights,
you,
just
Altair.
ordinary
You
fights.
scared
I
me.
am terrible at that game. with
Richard's men are
partners.
after
I don't know
2
why.
of them, to be exact. I was trying to strike a deal with them, but I realized that they were toying with me, so I ran away. You shall be the angel of death and collect their heads before they collect mine. When it is done, I shall tell you of the deal.
There's a bunch of bodies behind me.
So we've a murderer nearby.
Do you mean those people?
Okay. Favorite
Bodies? What bodies?
playable assassin faction in anything, or at least the favorite one you can currently think of.
Yeah, I'm gonna be completely honest. I only know of 2.
I don't know about like faction. Like, do you mean just like just playable assassin in general work?
Yeah, Assassin's Creed, Morag Tong, Dark Brotherhood. Those 3 off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of factions that come to mind. A lot of the assassin characters that I've played as in some way or another were kind of more like a lone wolf character.
Okay, favorite assassin faction in fiction then, not limited to games. That opens up like the curve your bullet people.
That's pretty good. Let's see. There have been some pretty like interesting kind of assassin groups in fiction. I know, but nothing is like God. It's
No, you don't understand. I'm
they very
sorry.
deliberately do not like to be remembered, I guess.
The family's sick.
That's fair. Like there's this one in
We've been
Fate that I know you're a fan of.
That's the same one.
They're totally different.
The Hashashin or the Hashashin.
They wear black. These ones wear white. They're like 2 completely different groups. These pass as monks and those pass as, I don't know, executioners. Who wears black cloaks in Jerusalem?
I don't know. But the point is,
Death Eaters?
I wouldn't qualify those, but
Yeah, I don't think they ever end up in Jerusalem.
the only one that's coming to mind right now is actually one that I absolutely do not like, which is unhelpful.
Okay, just pick one and name it. Describe why you hate it then.
The faceless men in Game of Thrones, because I don't even like Game of Thrones very much.
Okay, but
I was just reading a wiki page about it like the other day.
they were a cool gimmick in my opinion, actually.
There are some interesting things about it, but I just don't like them very much.
What do we say to the god of death?
Okay, that part's good, but that's not exclusively them.
No, that's
their
not
whole
what we
thing.
say. What we say to the god of death is not today.
Yes, exactly. I like that, but that's not a thing about the assassin group. That's the thing about their whole city.
Yeah, that's right. They're literally a faction represented by their cultural background. Of course it's a thing of their thing.
Yeah, but look, I don't know. They personally never jived with me very much.
That's fair.
What a relief
Okay.
it is to know that I am safe.
So you've
Thank you,
named
Master.
multiple at this point.
I tried to make
You've
a
got
deal
the
with
Fate
the
dudes,
Citadel
you got the
guards to leave
historical
gates
Hashashin,
open, even when the alarm sounds.
you've got the Assassin's Order,
I failed you.
we've got the Dark Brotherhood,
So now your
we've got the
only
Dark
escape
Brotherhood
from
again because they
Richard's
can
Citadel
play them
will be to
twice.
climb the
Got the
fortress
Morag
walls.
Tong.
Or you know what? Sure. Let's say
Forgive
this.
me.
Let's say the Jedi Shadows.
Thank you. There's a good one.
I completely forgot about them.
The Jedi Shadows.
Until
Those
I
are a
remembered-
really fun one, actually.
I remembered being listening to the Sith Inquisitors, and I'm like, wait, I don't like the Sith though. And I'm like, oh wait, Jedi Shadows are much cooler.
Why don't you like the Sith? They're like one of the most heroic factions in Star Wars.
Look, they just really are like really inefficient.
Be more careful next time.
Okay, that doesn't narrow it down nearly as much as I wish it did with the
They
Sith.
are really inefficient.
What about the rule of two?
Even if they wanted to be evil, blowing up planets is just a waste of so many good things and resources and stuff.
Wow.
Like, even if you were trying to be like, a pragmatic sort of evil, why would you just laser a planet to death? There's
Okay,
your
your
things
problem
like that.
is you're thinking too short term. The Sith only think in two modes. The next 5 seconds and 5,000 years from now when I'm immortal or one of my apprentices. Those are their only two modes.
Yeah,
You blow up a planet now and you're building up your reputation in 10 or 20 lifetimes. You need to have a history of this so people know not to provoke you when you have a giant world-destroying weapon.
Also, I think
But Sheev was a bad historian and didn't realize they already had proof of this. He didn't brand properly as a blatant Sith Lord. If he'd been doing that from day one, would not have had the problem. Everyone would have been like, oh, he's a Sith Lord. They blow up planets. I'm not going to mess with him.
I will agree. He has a branding problem.
Isn't the fact that his name is Sheev? That's definitely a point.
It certainly doesn't help. One of the nice things he does do for branding, though, is he does have the Sheev
Another
spin,
minute and they'd have made off with
and
me.
that's pretty iconic.
Fair.
You know?
I do find it hilarious that over the course of the entire prequel trilogy, I do find it hilarious over the course of the entire prequel trilogy, we don't even find out there's another Sith Lord. We don't find out Sheev's not the big boss in the actual movies ever. It just doesn't come up in the one where Plagueis is still alive.
Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Like, canonically, doesn't he not die until, like...
I don't know. I thought he was dead the whole time.
I think he literally dies right before the theater scene, where Palpatine tells the story about Plagueis.
Well, yeah.
I think that's literally when he dies, in episode 3.
It does sound like his kind of move.
Or, like,
To
right before, maybe.
Kill a guy and immediately pretend like he died 1,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Dude, I love... The one thing I like about Sheev is his and Plagueis' dynamic. Because his whole thing is, hey, rule of two worked. It was a good idea. It got us this far. I'm this close to figuring out perfect immortality. None of us, no Sith Lord, will ever have to die again. We'll be able to rule everything. It'll be awesome. We'll wipe out the Jedi in, like, the next 10 years. Like, everything's coming up aces. Our opening hand at poker was a royal flush. Okay? That's how, well, our final hand in poker was a royal flush. That's how Plagueis was feeling. And then Sheev's like, yeah, but I really, really hate you. And I have to pick between awesome immortality forever or getting rid of you.
I mean, I would take the getting rid of Darth Plagueis.
And Sheev picked the latter.
Yeah.
Also, Plague was terrified, apparently. Like, Darth Sidious is canonically
Let me
the strongest purely dark side user to ever live in the Star Wars timeline.
with men loyal to
And yet
his
he's
cause.
completely
He
irrelevant
seeks
to
to
the
weaken
vast
faith in
majority
King
of things
Richard
that
by
happen while he's
overcharging
alive.
honest
Sidious,
citizens
yeah.
for poorly
Sidious
crafted
is.
goods. These
He
corrupt
was
merchants
scared to
must be removed.
1v1 Plagueis.
Find their stand.
And Plagueis was a
destroy them.
Force Wizard Sith Lord, not a lightsaber combat Sith Lord. Sidious didn't think the strongest dark side user to ever live didn't think he could beat his boss. That's why he murdered him in his sleep.
Yeah. I'll give him credit. Like, you know, I gotta say, the Veil of Darkness plan was a pretty smooth operation.
Also, genuinely, I don't know if this is intentional, but the fact that A, Star Wars canonically has a Hell Dimension. B, only Darksiders go to this Hell Dimension, and only under certain circumstances. And C, she waited to kill Plagueis until he would have qualified for those circumstances. Is made way more funnier by the fact that D, Plagueis doesn't end up in that Hell Dimension after all, but instead suffers his own unique eternal agony forever due to what he was doing when Sheev killed him.
Man, Star Wars is so weird. I mean, I love it, but it is bizarre.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, or at least if I understood it correctly when I read it, and remember my understanding correctly, Plagueis basically achieves immortality, but in like a sort of single-celled organism sense, but he's still fully aware and conscious during it, but it's also supreme agony forever because he's constantly dying but can never die. I have no mouth and I am a scream.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
You hide, but you'll return.
I'm really glad that all those 3 guards came up here after you and didn't check that hay bale.
Why would they? Who would hide in the hay bale?
Especially funny if they're chasing you long enough to see you jump into one and chase you out, but then the next time they see one, they're like, well, he didn't jump into that one, so it's impossible for him to be there.
Makes sense to me.
Must have been rats.
I love how you're so in sync with Altair.
It may seem a small
You
thing
just
you've done
don't fall
today,
to your death.
but it's important nonetheless. This bit of paper should prove useful when you finally face William.
Why is he doing that?
There's been a moida.
How odd.
Possibly several.
There's a murder going on. It's called throwing up all these people by climbing. Especially those guards. They're so jealous of me climbing that they try to attack me. Oh, losers, kick it up here.
I really wish they could. Just so you could jump off the edge. Because I know this game's AI. If you're high enough and on a thin enough point and you jump off the edge, they will follow you.
Yeah.
So the idea of like 5 guards following you up here and Lipa facing after you and just going splat would be beautiful, and I want to.
Slightly related on the topic of other assassin things. One that I'd like to maybe we'll have to play through like this at some point in the future is one that I really kind of liked that was kind of a, you know, smaller game was Styx, Master of Shadows.
Styx is fun.
Which was a very fun little stealth game, which I guess was a sequel to some other game I'd never heard of.
Yeah, it also got a sequel.
Which is like Orcs and Men or something like that.
I'm gonna look it up. I feel like I remember
Yeah, because technically Styx is like a prequel to that universe. But like it's its own like very interesting like wacky sort of like, you know, it's a very creative like little setting with like its own kind of fun stuff, especially considering the fact that like, you know, you can't
Orcs and Men setting.
But you can't really 1v water creatures like at all. Like just human guards are too big and dangerous for you to fight. In like a straight fight for the most part.
Yeah.
Hurry home. Don't think I'll leave it
I
again
know
anytime
I've
soon.
seen
either.
someone play the game, but I don't know who. It might have been on YouTube.
Be assured
Sufficiently
I won't
heavily
forget
armored
it.
enemies are literally just indestructible. You literally just can't assassinate them except environmental ways. Like, you can't kill them with your knife, so you can't fight them. You can maybe shove them over an edge or drop a chandelier on them. Maybe. Some maps you can't even do that.
I really do love the games that do the, I think it was the Mirror's Edge thing after some video essay, where they pick one mechanic, like stealth or parkour, and that's the entire game. and they do it really well. Those are some of my favorite games.
Totally fair.
That said, I think Nintendogs might also qualify by that definition.
You're a dead man!
Any of you play any of those games when you were a kid?
I did not actually play Nintendogs, but I played. I did play a pet simulator actually by Ubisoft. It was the cats with the Z. So that whole series.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. So I played cats.
I played one of the Nintendo games, one of the DS ones, I forget which one. And I also played a lot of Neopets for a while. Neopets was awesome until Chime happened.
Yeah.
Komm zurück! Bin die Rache Gottes! Des Teufels! Er war ein Diener Gottes! Stell dich deinem göttlichen Urteil! Erbärmlich! Deine Strafe nicht entkommen!
La di da, la di da, la di da, da.
Would you say the vibe of this fight is more let the bodies hit the floor or it's raining men?
Let the bodies raining men.
I'd say, and another one bites the dust.
Another one bites, another one bites, another one bites the dust. Oh, he's wrong. Okay, and you're fine. You can live.
All right then.
I just figured out the official theme song of the Holy Grail War. Every Holy Grail War ever. All of them together.
Another one bites the dust?
No.
This is war.
This is the ultimate showdown of Ultimate Destiny.
Okay, that's fair.
Good guys, bad guys, and explosions.
Plus, everyone named in that song could show up in a Holy Grail War.
No reason to be here.
Wow, rude. Rude!
Was that the same spot?
No.
Aww.
Rude. How rude of you. Where are you?
It gets funnier each time he shoots.
Quick, shoot him with your gun.
Rude.
That was pretty rude. What'd you ever do to him? Kill like 8 of his friends?
I know, right? Why you gotta be so rude?
You must not
Look,
trespass.
it's just you, me, and 17 of my closest friends.
Also, I like me some Irish music. Even some good old-fashioned folk pub music. And I like me the Rattling Bog. But some people take that thing too far. Like, I'm okay with like the chick and the yolk, or the feather on the chick and the yolk and the egg and the bird in the nest on the branch, or on the tree, on the branch. I'm okay when you're going that deep and I failed it miserably. But I don't need you to go all the way to the subatomic particle for that one, because I will lose my breath like 30 turns ago.
That is fair.
Don't mind me. I'm just a random monk. Scholar person.
Are either of you even familiar with the song I'm talking about?
Nope. Not at all.
Look, I'm pretty sure I've heard it. I know, like, I think I know what I'm talking about, but I don't have any specific memories right now, so.
And also, I'm kind of focusing right now.
What? Why? That makes one of us.
Who did this?
Hey yo, the Rattling Bog, bog down in the valley.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
yo, the
Okay,
Rattling
no, I know
Bog.
which song you're talking about.
Of our enemies. Do not
In a bog there was a tree, a rare tree, and a rattling tree. And then it goes on and on and on, and eventually, some versions of the song dip all the way down to a subatomic particle. Then go
Yeah.
up from there to, I think, a virus.
your heart is pure.
Hi. Don't mind me.
They get ridiculous.
Yeah. It's like a... what's the one? There's another folk song that has like 50 verses to it. No, it's not 50, but
Is it Irish or?
no, I don't think it's Irish. I can't remember.
You're not supposed to be here. Leave.
You're not supposed to be here.
I know. What was it? It was. The cat came back.
The cat came back.
Yep, the cat came back the very next day. Oh, the cat came back. He thought he was gone, but the cat came back.
I think I haven't heard that in at least 10 years.
Yeah.
But God is also merciful. And our past
Safety and peace,
may be
brother.
forgotten.
Although it seems I'll be receiving neither. Serves me right, I suppose.
Okay,
But a
Stuart.
bit
The rest of
careless
us have
about
laid
William Center's
cards on the
bowmen.
table.
I deal
Name
with them myself, but
any
to be
folk
honest,
song. You just need
I
one.
lack the skill. Would you be willing to seek
Literally
them out and
any.
kill them? I might have something useful for you, were you to accept. But be careful not to let them see you.
You still sing this one really well. I think it's at one point kind of learned it like the elementary school, and I always really liked it, partly because it coincidentally, like a couple of lines really resonated with one of my first series at the time, you know? So it stuck with me. But,
What series?
it's the Abhorsen. Mostly it was like just one line that kind of made me and my friend both kind of glom onto it a little bit more. But it was, what is the
Strange man.
Probably the name is Green Go the Rushes Ho, but I don't know if that was actually the name or if that was just one of the lyrics. But it was,
I think I know what
it was kind of like a structurally kind of like a 12 Days of Christmas kind of thing, though the actual tune was very different.
Kill him!
Green Grow the Rushes O.
That might have been it, but I think Ho was how I would say it.
A Carol of the 12 Numbers, the 12 Prophets, the Teaching Song, the Daily Song, or the 10 Commandments.
Yeah, so it kind of would be like similar kind of stuff to that. The one that I had was, let's see.
Be not afraid.
Alright, let's try this again.
Are the weapons of our enemies. Do not listen to their lies. Poisonous words meant to spoil.
Yeah, I kind of remember the tune of it and a few of the numbers, but
Pray. Ask God for direction.
The 12th accumulated verse.
Please, sir, have any money?
Let's see, 12 for the 12 apostles, 11 for the 11 who went to
10
heaven.
for the 10 Commandments, anyways. There, I'd kind of forgotten that that was kind of really part of it. 9 for the 9 Bright Shiners. 8 for the 8 Brave Rangers or something?
April Rainer.
Okay.
Close.
See, I think I knew that, but I always thought that was stupid. I would say like 8 for the 8 Brave, like something or whatever in the version when I was like singing to myself. The Rangers. 7 stars in the sky. 6 for the 6 Proud Walkers, I want to say.
Accurate.
5 for the symbols at your door, and 4 for the Gospel Makers, something like that.
Yep.
3 the Rivals, 2 the Little White Boys, and then 1 is 1 and all alone. Evermore should be so.
Clothed all in green. Oh. One
Yeah,
is one
well,
and all
I knew what it was.
And
I said that a minute ago, but I didn't use it a whole lot to get there.
But he
But yeah, so
barely
that was
stopped me.
one
I'm
that we
sorry.
at one point like I don't think it was like ever like a major thing. Like we just like at one point learned it, and I really liked it at the time.
The fact you accurately quoted most of it is actually not.
It's kind of like one of those things, right? Like when you go through, like each one reminded me of the next, but like until I remembered the 12th one, I couldn't do any of them. I'm like I knew 3, 1, and like.
The problem with the Rattling Bog is there's every single artist has a slight variation on it. Cause there's over the Rattling Bog, bog down in the valley, yo. Over the Rattling Bog, bog down in the valley, yo. In a valley there was a bog, a rare bog, and a rattling bog. And the bog down in the valley, there was a tree, a rare tree and a rattling tree. And a tree in the bog and a bog down in the valley, and then it adds each time. So on that tree there was a bow, a rare bow and a rattling bow. On that bow there was a branch, a rare branch and a rattling branch. On that branch there was a twig, a rare twig and a rattling twig. On that twig there was a leaf, a rare leaf and a rattling leaf. On that leaf there was a nest, a rare nest and a rattling nest. then it's egg. No, it's bird, egg, yolk. If you go real deep down, bird again, feather. On that feather there was a mite, or some other, or maybe a flea. On the flea. On the flea there was not DNA. Might have been. Once you go past flea and start dipping into actual physics, it starts getting way more confusing. If I'm being real.
That's totally valid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so on that flea, there was a... No. On that feather, there was a flea, a rare flea, and a flea, and a flea on the feather, and a feather on the bird, and the bird in the yolk, and the yolk in the egg, and the egg in the bird, and the bird in the nest, and the nest in the nest on the leaf, and the leaf on the branch, and the branch... leaf on the twig, and the twig on the branch, and the branch on the bow, and the bow on the tree in the bog down in the valley, yo.
Yeah, I definitely heard variations on that.
There's so many variations on it. I can never remember any of them.
Fair.
I'm fairly sure I missed at least 5 things in that version, without even going deeper. I like the song, but I cannot sing it.
Totally understandable.
So what's our next objective?
Oh, I'm killing some
Oh,
archers.
obviously. Moida.
What if we hit it till it dies?
Let's group up and hit it till it dies.
Let's not go for anything that advanced. I think if we just keep soloing.
That's right. Get up, get out.
Where would Altair find a group of monks at this time anyway?
Very carefully.
Clearly nothing but
An
sleep.
assassin!
Wow, are you kidding? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Oh, that was terrible.
Now to do it.
That's very unfortunate.
I'm so sorry, that was terrible.
Yeah, that was frustrating.
Assassin's Creed. This game's a little bit janky.
That's fine.
Turned away from God. And so
You just gotta commit to the bit.
What the hell are you
And the
saying?
bit is winning.
I thought the bit was Moida.
Well, that too.
I would do everything with
That's how you
Hidden
win,
Blade.
obviously.
I mean, I could go.
How else would you win other than Moida?
I mean, I can just go and steal some knives off of people, but I'm just gonna see if I can.
Hit it till it dies?
Well, I can't have them notice me.
Seems like it's a stealth mission. Wait, these aren't missions, they're challenges.
Yep.
Is this Altair literally just flexing?
Probably.
Is this literally just Altair flexing because he can?
Well, no, this is for an informant. He wants us to go kill some people that are stations. So.
It feels less funny. But there. Actually, now that I think of it, considering how this game starts, flexing like that would have been in character for Altair not that long ago.
Yeah, no kidding.
We believe in you.
I will believe.
From the side angle, he looked like he was wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, it kind of looked like it. There we go.
They died like they lived, facing away from you.
Yep. Ta-da. I didn't press the button in time.
Not pressing the button time is the #1 cause of video game death.
Yeah, no, that was like, nope, I just didn't press the button.
Except in Dark Souls. In Dark Souls, the #1 cause of video game death
is elevators.
Yeah.
I was going to make a joke about the game just being evil and cheating, but no, it's 100% elevators. You're right.
In exchange for your aid, take this map I prepared. It shows where William has stationed his other archers. Most useful should you find yourself inside his fortress.
Thanks, bud. Informer flag. Let's go take care of this, and then I will go and do the flag. Then go take the blast watchtower, and then we can get on to the actual assassination mission.
Woo! Sounds fake, but okay.
It is fake, but we're just not going to talk about it. We're not going to acknowledge that it was fake.
Anyway, my favorite Assassin's group, to get back on a topic from like an hour ago, is probably the Dark Brotherhood and Oblivion.
They're pretty good.
Like, not only do they have weird special ways they want you to kill people for bonus rewards, which is great in a game where you're an assassin, but they're just so blatantly evil about it. Like, it crosses the line into almost cartoonishly. Okay, not even almost. It crosses the line into cartoonishly evil. And then they're like, try to be a really good family with each other about near the end of Act 1 of that guild. It's so much fun the entire way through it. One of the best experience playing an assassin storylines, I think, in video games. It has the downside of being Oblivion, which is, a big point against it. But honestly, it's just a fantastic time. Some of the quests are problematic or annoying, but like, what is it called? It might just straight up be Whodunit.
It is called Whodunit.
One of the best Bethesda quests of all time. Because you're locked in a house with a bunch of other people who need to never leave the house. You're the only one who knows you're an assassin, and you get a bonus reward if none of them find out. And you're probably thinking, well, when there's only one of you left and you talk to them, obviously they find out. And while that doesn't fail the quest, they don't all find out if you're the only two left.
This place is restricted.
There's one you can befriend at the start of the quest, and if you kill off everybody else, at the end of it, they're like, well, it's just me and you now. Someone's been hunting us down in here. We need to get out. We need to find the key. It's such a good quest.
Why won't you die?
Honestly, those are probably the only people in the game who don't say that to you. Most of them die really easily. There is something to be said, though, for planting poisoned apples on the dinner table and just having everyone die when they all sit down for dinner together.
That's understandable.
Honestly, wasn't as big a fan of Skyrim's Dark Brotherhood.
Yeah, they did some interesting stuff, but okay.
The big overall...
It was individually solid, but it didn't do any... First off, no individual mission was as cool as Whodunit specifically.
Definitely.
But a couple of individual quests were better than some of the other individual quests, though. But I think the overall arcing storyline was also not as interesting.
You're not supposed to be here.
I think the arcing storyline where the bit where you're building up to the final assassination, I think is really cool as a concept. Like, they could have gone in more of an Ocean's 11, I guess, type heist movie vibe almost. If they'd kind of leaned into a heist movie vibe, like heist movie Elder Scrolls. Look at Thieves Guild, the Thieves Guild in Oblivion, and actually in Skyrim. I'm just like the heist movie in the. I guess Skyrim was more Indiana Jonesy, but no. Heist movie to assassinate the most powerful political figure on the planet.
Gosh.
Very Jinkai.
Yeah, it's a fantastic idea. The problem was
it is a great basis for an Assassin's quest line.
The build-up just doesn't reward it at all. Like, I don't feel like I've earned the final mission in Skyrim's Dark Brotherhood. I feel like I just kind of got there and no one else did.
That's kind of how all of the Skyrim guild quests kind of go. You just kind of get there.
Yeah, yeah, but
not exclusively, but
like the thing about the other guilds for me is, yeah, you do just kind of get there, but it also you can feel like you earned it a bit more. Like the Mages College. If you're actually interacting with everyone there, doing all the side quests in the college, practicing magic, you get there at level 1, you graduate at level like 20 or whatever. Like, if that's your main focus and you're going through the guild, through the faction, a lot of the other ones you can feel like you earned it. It just doesn't. It's just not designed in a way where you will feel like that way by default. You won't actually feel like you earned it if you only do what the game tells you to do.
That's fair.
Dark Brotherhood, I never really got the feeling, even if I did all of the random Radiant Quest, Assassin's missions, even if I talked to everyone and get to know them. In Skyrim, I never felt like I earned it. Partially because you, that promotion you get halfway through the quest, quest line. When you get buried alive.
Back again, Altair. Always in need of a
Should we
hand
avoid
to do your
spoilers
dirty
for a
work.
13-year-old
This
game that's
time,
come out like 11
Llewellyn
times?
did not order anything.
It's
It is just
Skyrim.
for my own pleasure that I
You're
asked you to
fine.
find
I
some
think
Masia
That's
flags I've
fair.
hidden
I mean,
in
some
Richard's
people
district.
don't spoil it in
Since
front
I
of
am a loyal
Todd,
assassin,
but
unlike
nobody
others,
else is going to care.
I
Well,
will
no,
tell
there's
you
going
what
to be people that are
are
going to
saying
care.
and
Okay,
accurate.
yeah, but
It is
not enough.
important information.
Fair.
But this time,
Like, when you become
try
the
to come back to
listener,
me
you don't
faster
feel
than
like
the
you
first
earned it,
time.
and then the rest of the quest line leading up to assassinating the Emperor, you never feel like you've earned anything that happened, except maybe everyone died.
Yeah, I felt like from what I remember, I definitely agree with this damn theme is just
hardcore.
Thank you, Altair. Yeah, I definitely felt that way about like the listener. But like this is not working out.
Sometimes you have to cheat the game, not the mission.
Remember to play the game, not to play.
Remember to game the game, not play the player.
Yeah, I felt like at least the aspect of come on.
What the hell is he doing? Did you see that?
I like the aspect of actually going to the assassination for the Emperor. I felt like was rewarding to me, at least.
Like that actual final mission?
Yeah, I felt like the actual final mission itself and like the whole lead up to it was rewarding. But I do definitely agree with the listener part.
I really enjoyed the final mission. I enjoyed talking to the Emperor. I enjoyed sneaking aboard, trying not to get seen. I did enjoy all that. It reminded me of, again, Oblivion, where the very first mission in the Dark Brotherhood. You sneak aboard a ship and you assassinate the captain in the captain's quarters. It's great.
I guess it's I forgot about that part, but you're correct. I was correct earlier. It is very Junkai. I've come from over 1,000 years to deliver you your final rights.
Okay, that's good.
Which was kind of the original translation of a Lost Belt 3 scene.
Your hard work is changing my
Because,
opinion of you.
Jinkai.
Here is what I know about William of Montferrat.
And in
He
this
and
timeline,
Richard had a disagreement before the king left for Jaffa. Since then, William stays in his
I think
citadel,
they
surrounded
nerfed
by
the,
his army.
impact the language
Do
a
you
little bit
have
with
what
the
it takes to
proper
attack him
English
in this
translation,
protected
unfortunately, but-
environment?
Yeah.
We'll see, but I am still
not every part
doubtful.
of the translation can be perfect.
Yep.
At least it's not stay nights.
This is what fan translations of individual cool lines that go hard.
And then we are.
And a hard cool that goes live.
But at least we're finally getting an official translation.
Yeah.
We're also getting the official English Supreme release.
Yeah.
For like, more stuff very soon. I can't even fathom what we're gonna get this next anniversary.
Okay, time to start some wars. Best Saberface.
Because, okay. You are starting some wars. But, right before I get into that, can you even imagine that we actually got Arsued?
No.
In Grand Order? That's so I haven't even played Tsukihime. I don't even have like personal stake in it.
Yeah.
Man, I feel so whacked from the Tsukihime fans to get Arsued in Fate Grand Order and also Tsukihime Remake.
Yeah,
and
that's
the state announcement night.
That was pretty great.
It was. It finally made up for missing half the cast of the original Melty Blood in the new Melty Blood and instead getting 3 Grand Order characters.
I forgot about that.
Nobody minded getting Saber. Getting Saber in it was great.
Everyone knows you're gonna get Saber.
Yeah, like, well, okay, like, Saber wasn't even in the original thing, but
I'm
like,
aware,
Saber as the
but
first
it's
guest
Saber.
character, nobody minded.
And nobody was surprised, is my point.
Getting Mash, also fine. She kind of fits in well.
Was Ushi the last one?
I wish. Well, they wish. I don't play Melty Blood, so I don't care.
What game got Ushi as a game?
It did get Ushi.
Okay.
I'm just saying it wasn't the last one.
Oh.
They also got Dante's. Sorry, I was wrong. 4 fake, 3 Grand Order characters, but 4 fake characters. Like I said, Saber's not really counted in that. Like how many fake characters we got? Because like nobody minded getting Saber in as the extra bonus guest. The main problem is okay, we got 4 whole fake characters, which is not a problem if they weren't also missing a couple of the original Melty Blood characters.
Yeah.
That are not back in the Melty Blood remake. There is still no Knight of Wallachia.
That's just not fun.
Who is the central antagonist of Melty Blood?
Yeah, I know. That's why it's not even fun.
So, you know, that's rough. Anyway, favorite Saberface, Mordred.
That's fair.
Okay, technically Mordred is a Mordred face and not a Saberface, but like, you know, whatever.
I'm pretty sure Mordred's a Saberface.
I think she also counts, but it depends on who you ask.
Joan of Arc is a Saberface.
Yeah.
I think Mordred counts.
Yeah, I would count Mordred.
Yeah. But also,
Anyway.
Tian faces are a slight, distinct subcategory of saber faces. But
they're
I'm going
considered saber
I'm just gonna
faces.
stay Mordred and move on.
But they are.
It's Mordred or Okita. Moving on. We're done.
Okay, how about you?
Probably Akita.
Nobu Nobu.
Nobu.
We are too soft with our enemies. With one hand we engage them, but the other tries to
We
embrace.
just got visited by Raid Brigade. I cannot English.
What's English?
That's what happens sometimes near the end of a stream.
I think it's the meme frog in a beanie and a jacket.
I can't really read the chat very well, so I'll take your word for it.
I'm staring directly at it and I can't read it that very well.
Well, that sounds like a you problem, to be honest. Skill issue.
It's him we should follow.
Nice to have you, Raid Brigade.
William of Montferrat had a vision. Saw a way to end our pain. It's him we should follow. It's him will lead us to victory.
So what are we trying to do right now?
Oh, I'm climbing to a tower.
What we're trying to do right now is simple. I'm going to revise my answer. Altair is the best saber face.
Oh, it's Pete it is the meme frog. It's Pete the Frog dressed like the Orange 12 guy from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
That makes sense, okay.
Okay.
See, it makes a lot more sense with the explanation than when you tried to explain it earlier.
Without our support.
Are you saying my description of the image didn't perfectly engrave it into your mind?
No, it most certainly not. It might have been easier if you had the Invis technology to engrave it into my mind.
Yeah, but if I did that, I'd need genetic memories.
Okay, let's see if it'll allow me to actually climb up this way.
I'm sure I have memories. I don't know what they are, but I'm sure they exist.
I mean, I don't know.
It's not like you need to remember your memories for them to be memories. You just need to attach them all to some sort of chain.
Yes, linking one to another.
Like some sort of
chain.
Keychain.
Like some sort of rope.
There we go.
Not
tying us together. A rope of memories.
According to Raid Brigade, screw both of you, my description was so vivid even blind people would get a clear picture of what I'm talking about.
That sounds very impressive. And it's important that it sounds impressive because I couldn't see it.
At least someone's on my side.
Well, I would be on your side, but I'm literally on the other side of the table.
That's my side!
I think that's your side.
Why would this be my side? Why wouldn't your side be my side?
Well, you're sitting on your side.
You're making me take sides now.
Yes.
Look at this guy. He's making me take sides.
I'm sorry. Physics did that.
That's
I had
true.
nothing to do with it.
That's true. We should probably get rid of physics then.
Yeah, the physics part, that was your fault, I will admit.
Okay, but if we get rid of physics, we lose out on Assassin's Creed because we lose video games.
No, it's
I think we can continue to do video games even if we get rid of physics.
We remove all physics.
Yeah.
It's just going to require a little bit of effort, that's all. Okay, that's... Well done, I'll tell you. Very impressive.
Okay, I guess we're getting rid of physics.
Classic.
I'm actually kind of stuck. There we go.
Try not to fall to your death from here. Alright, let's take bets on the leap of faith.
Whether it'll work or...
I think we're going to die.
Alright.
Okay, what direction are we supposed to leap?
Oh,
it's to the
down
left.
and left. There's a cut right there. Oh, that...
I think you were wrong. We didn't die.
So, okay, we haven't gotten to the ground yet. There's still time.
Okay, I actually want to try this leap of faith.
Okay, so one person is saying we'll die for sure. What's your answer?
I'll go the other end. I think we're going to be totally fine. Nope, we're not going to be fine.
Oh, that...
I think I have to change my answer.
There we go.
That absolutely did not trigger the leap of faith.
Family Guying.
Using
true.
diversions
That's right.
with dead bodies.
I don't know, I think that was more Yamcha death pose, actually.
Oh, no, actually, yeah, I was right. That was Yamcha.
It just briefed me right here. Oh, okay.
Is the flag registered?
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, nice, okay. Well,
easy.
It's fine.
Guess we spent not enough time
That
standing
just means
around
you
it
need to leap
opposite.
of faith from here now.
Before I make you.
Or just leave.
There's a hay bale right over there.
Wow, he can throw himself. That horizontal toss.
I think that may have outpaced some world records for standing long jump.
It's him we should follow. It's him will lead us to victory.
No, don't.
What is the world record for a standing long jump?
No idea, but I bet Altair could do it.
Probably.
If you put a hay bale on the other end.
What good could come of this when a king cannot
Yeah,
decide what
probably.
he truly wants? But William knows. If you would only listen. Stand up, friends. Do not allow yourself to be sent to slaughter
looks
based
like
on the
the
whims
Olympic
and
standing
wishes
long
of an
jump.
uncertain king. We must rely on men who are strong
According
in
to
their
the ever-reliable
Men like
Wikipedia,
William of Montferrat.
the longest standing long jump. This only goes up through 1912.
Well, okay, Altair was born before then, so I think that's okay.
Okay, so he's in that case he's competing against Konstantinos Stiglitzeris. He's competing against a Greek dude.
No, that makes sense.
Who served in the Hellenic army. Neat.
Following you, definitely not a stalker. Definitely not. No, I'm just a convenient person, just walking behind you.
I have failed Wikipedia. I cannot find the answer to this.
Well, that's okay. We'll just accept in our hearts that Altair could win it and move on.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Altair could make a 20-foot horizontal standing jump.
If there's a hay bale on the other side.
Of course, of course.
All we need do is ask.
How about you? Current bet's 20 feet. We both think it can happen. Are you gonna bet 20 meters to screw with us?
Sure.
Okay, I guess the options are 20 feet, 20 meters, or not succeeding.
So it's yes, no, or
Stop.
maybe.
Enough! Enough! What is it you want? Gold? I've a few pieces on me. Take them. Take them and go.
It's not gold I see, but information.
I know nothing.
You know William. Tell me how to reach him.
It's impossible. He meets at the king.
And when will the king be gone?
Today. But it won't help you. They're sure to argue. And then William will retire to lecture the soldiers. So it always goes. Richard berates William. William berates his men. He won't see you.
I already told you. I need to see William. I never said he needs to see me.
Then our business is done.
Not yet, I'm afraid. There's one last thing I need from you.
What is it?
Your life.
I don't know why we need to kill him, but sure.
I don't know why we had to have that conversation in front of a literal crowd of people. While what seems to have been a preacher was almost officiating our marriage.
And these people just don't care.
Abandon all hope, you here to here and so forth.
I figured out why it worked. I figured it out. I connected the dots.
You haven't connected shit.
All the city
The
will know of
reason
your sacrifice.
none of them are bothered by an assassin doing all of this blatantly in front of everybody. Guess what he's pretending to be?
A scholar.
He's pretending to be a scholar. And Altair is so famous in this entire region, everyone thinks scholars just act like that.
That would be funny if that was the case.
Only reasonable explanation.
It's the doctor is a word for warrior in our language thing.
Yes, Altair turned scholar into assassin in
Did you
13th century.
Did you see that thing I posted like earlier today or yesterday, or whatever, about the James Bond
Oh yeah.
Time Lord
Oh.
theory thing?
I fully believe James Bond's a Time Lord.
I could totally make sense of that. Yes, The Bachelor.
Oh hey, look.
It definitely scans.
Desmond could totally... Like, you wouldn't have to change the storyline very much other than removing the Animus. Might actually be able to-
Desmond, who is a Time Lord who lost his memories and is reliving the memories of previous lives as assassins. Is
Yeah.
that what you're going for here? That could be a very reasonable, like, alternate timeline of
You have to
the same
remember,
kind of series.
Altair looks exactly like Desmond. They're
Yeah.
literally identical down
Yeah,
to their
because he stole
split
his
scar.
face through time, like Lancelot.
Yeah, we know.
Hi.
But if he stole his face through time like Lancelot, that just implies he's more of a... Could Lancelot, like, rip out a Time Lord's beating heart and turn into a Time Lord with his noble phantasm?
I don't think so, but he could
What if
kill
it's their
somebody
second
with that
heart?
He could kill somebody with that heart, but I don't think that would make him a Time Lord.
I mean, I feel like it's fair to say being a Time Lord is probably a Time Lord's noble phantasm.
Well, okay, yes, but here is the thing.
Other
right?
than, you know, the TARDIS.
You are sincere
He
in
can
your
wield a
desire
like
to
weapon like
redeem
that, but
yourself.
he can't
I do what I can.
utilize an
And
inbuilt
sometimes you
noble
do it
phantasm
well,
as far as we've seen any evidence
I
of.
assume it is work
You're
that
right, Ray
reunites
Brigade.
us.
We
Yes.
are the most
William of
suspicious
Montferrat
looking
is my
person in the
target.
universe.
I know,
I've done his
right?
ass and armed myself with knowledge.
It is
It makes
one of
more
the-
sense with
I must do
Ezio
to
once
reach
he's got like the half cape and like the flowing jacket
And I will
onto it and
judge.
everything.
Yeah, he just looks
William's
rich.
host is large
Yeah,
and
he
many
just
men
looks
call
rich,
him master.
eccentric, and
He's not
Italian.
without
Yeah.
enemies.
Also,
Which
Richard
it
do
really
not
just
see
means
eye to
rich and
eye.
eccentric.
he's from Florence and he knows Da Vinci. Like,
It's true, they've never been close.
This
you'd
works to my
expect-
advantage.
Weird.
Richard's visit
that's
has upset
yeah.
me.
He looks exactly
Once
like
the
you'd
king has
expect,
left,
knowing
William
those
will
facts.
retreat into
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
fortress to brew.
Yeah,
He'll
whereas
be
Altair,
distracted.
he does not
That's why
blend
I'm
in nearly
strike.
so well.
You're sure of this?
Which is
As
why
sure
it's a
as I
good
can
thing
be.
that nobody had common sense at
things
this point in
change,
time.
I'll adapt.
I
Then
think
I
a
give
large
you
part
leave
of
to
it might
go.
just be Altair's
And the
demeanor.
life of Montferrat
He comes
that
off
we may
kind of a
call
little
the
too
city
serious
free.
to
I mean,
come off.
okay, I'm sure that helps, but also the fact that nobody had perceptive abilities at this point in time definitely helped.
Not true.
That's all I'm
Altair had eagle vision.
I'll return when the deed's been done.
But I'm not talking about Altair, I'm talking about everyone else.
I feel like all the assassins are nobodies. Isn't that like their whole shtick?
Probably. So does that mean
You do know
that
they
does
have
that mean
hearts,
the
so they can't
Templars
be that.
are Organization 13, or the Assassin Order is Organization 13?
No, the Templars are run by Ansem.
Okay, actually,
Not
hold
to
on.
be mixed up with Ansem Ansem.
The precursors are Organization 13.
Wait, the Jack and Daxter precursors?
No, Assassin's Creed.
They call them the precursors a couple of times in here, don't they?
Yeah,
Before they
they-
come
they-
up with their real name.
Yeah, I believe so.
Huh, did not remember that.
I feel like they call them.
I believe it.
Yeah,
it makes
no,
sense.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure
They don't know
call-
the actual name of the civilization until much
Yeah.
later in the series.
I'm pretty sure they called them in that in 2.
I think they just call them like a precursor civilization.
Yeah.
Or something until they
Or
come
like,
up with like
it was Brotherhood of Revelation.
Right? No, I think they start in 2. I think you're right because at the end of 1, when they collect all of the, when they get the information, we should probably avoid spoilers in this game.
Probably since we're playing it.
Yeah. They collect the information,
I'll have your hands for
and that lets them get a lot of information on the precursors for related reasons, and then they start calling them properly in 2, I think.
This'll teach you not to steal.
That could be. I feel like I remember them being called the precursors continually onward from here, because I actually like did not remember the actual name of the civilization until I saw it on a wiki article earlier today again. I didn't remember it in the slightest, and I beat up through 3, where the end of the main story ends, or at least the relevant part of it right now.
Right, it doesn't. Alright, that wraps up Desmond's primary story arc, doesn't it?
Yep. There's a separate mini arc across 4 and Rogue, I think. And then another separate, for Rogue and like
Find a way to repay this
maybe
kindness,
also
I
Liberation
swear it.
Unity, or not Liberation, Unity and Syndicate. I think that's all kind of a thing with like an Abstergo tester.
Yeah.
Being fed secret information as like the arc of those 4, and then we move on to a different arc in the games after, where it's a historian using the Animus to.
I know a bit about the historian story. I will say, chat brought up another good point. Altair sounds very American, and no one notices that either.
Oh well, yeah. No, that's definitely more of a limitation of who they decided to do the voice acting.
Okay. I think it's more likely Altair just had the only American accent literally on Earth at the time, and nobody commented.
I mean, that's also true.
So he stole Desmond's voice and his face.
Yes.
Well, actually, doesn't actually sound like Desmond, but
Begging Saladin to save
yeah,
he
no,
sounds
that's-
like Desmond's cousin or something.
Yeah, no, it's
Hey
definitely more.
Desmond, it's your cousin. Why don't you take me bowling?
Why don't you take me killing?
It is definitely more of a no. This was the voice actor that we felt was appropriate for Altair, and that's who we're sticking with.
They definitely put a little more effort into kind of the internal localization of the characterization in universe as the games proceed onward.
They did.
To be fair, they never expected this to be wildly successful.
Well, they planned for it to be a trilogy.
Yeah.
They did. They always planned for a sequel.
Yeah, they planned for a trilogy. They knew there was going to be a sequel, but they weren't certain it was going to get a third one.
Yes.
But yeah,
Great favor indeed.
it is true. 'Cause, like they
Now
do a
our
pretty
enemies
okay job
will
with
be
the
that
others,
much
but I guess
stronger in
they
their
just did not put in the time and
Fight
effort
that
time
much
that's done for.
harder.
Well, also, you have to a lot.
emboldened, but
Oh yeah, no. The
Tell
flags
me,
this
how is it
entire
you know
session
the
have been
intentions
freaking
of our
out.
enemies so well? You who forsake the field of
But,
battle
like,
to play at
even
politics.
with a lot of the other
I
characters,
did
they
what
don't
was
really.
right.
Some
What
of them
was
sound
just.
more
You
Israeli,
swore an oath to uphold the work of
Yeah.
God, William.
but others
But
don't.
that is not what I see
There was an
here.
effort put in, but not
I
nearly as
see a
much
man
as
who's
later games.
trampled.
Yes.
Or at
because-
least
Your words
financially.
are
Because
most
at least the
unkind,
second
my
one and
liege.
the
I would
mini
hope I might have earned your trust
Ezio
by now.
You are
consistently
Arthur's
has his kind of
regent, set to
Italian,
rule in my stead. How much
grammar
more
and
trust is
pronunciation,
required?
kind of the
Perhaps you'd
entire
like my
way
crown.
through.
Oh yeah, no, Ezio has a
The
very
primary
distinct
character.
voice. You know when
Much
Ezio
as I'd like to
Auditore
waste my
differente.
day trading words with you, I've a war to fight.
a good character.
We'll have to continue this another time.
Which we will get
Do
to
not let me delay
at
you
some
then,
point in the
Your
future.
Grace.
Some point being, maybe 3 more streaming sessions.
I feel
It'll depend on if we do something
go very quickly.
Yeah.
Well, that is true. We are probably
Send
going to
word
play
that I
something
wish to
else
speak
in
with the
between.
troops.
But
we must ensure that everyone
I was
is doing
interested in
their
terms
part.
of finishing this game
Warn
rather
them that
than
any negligence
strictly
would be severely punished. I'm in no
But yes, you are
mood to
right.
be
I am going to
trifled
make
with
you
today.
fight some Nazis
Yes, my
in
lord.
between
The rest of
this
you,
and playing
follow
Assassin's
me.
Creed 2.
Wolfenstein will be fun.
Maybe not specifically then, but at some point we will make you do that.
I'll look forward to it.
It's good. You get to do fun stuff.
Don't mind me.
Like use a laser to disintegrate Nazis.
Okay, I can see why they went sci-fi.
Yeah.
Even the older games were pretty sci-fi.
It
did have mecha.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like I'm saying they were pretty sci-fi.
No, they really leaned into the Nazi cult.
Yeah, no, I was merely saying it's like no, they were all like pretty sci-fi.
Yeah, I will say the new Wolfenstein games, it is internally consistent.
Oh, yeah.
With how it functions. Like Wolfenstein 1, it starts with the low-tech stuff because you're actually during the war, and then you kind of have like a time skip forward.
Right, you wake up in like the 60s or something?
Yeah, at which point they have like all this hyper advanced technology, which you will eventually through the course of the game find out how that happened. And the answer is only slightly evil Nazi scientist.
Hi, don't mind me.
What, did they steal it from a different dimension or something?
Don't mind me.
Kind of.
Don't mind me.
Well, I don't think that they...
the Doom explanation.
they don't. There is no different dimension. Well, basically they did like kind of steal and retrofit like technology.
Oh, I just remembered that Doom is canon to Wolfenstein.
Yep.
Yes.
Hi.
Yes. So anybody who's unfamiliar, it is implicitly canon that the Doom guy.
I feel like this Altair is not the stuff.
But yes, the John Doom guy is a distant descendant of the Blaskovich family. And by distant, I mean like 3 generations or something.
It's not distant at all. He still hears stories.
Yes, like his like, you know, his like uncle famous watchable or something. Same family, same killing streak. They just chose different kinds of monsters to fight.
I mean,
I'm sure they have a cousin who fights vampires.
One of them went for the most evil thing possible, and the other killed demons. You know, family tradition.
I mean, you know, they are 2 of the 4 of the quartet of perfect video game targets, which is aliens, zombies, demons, and Nazis. Also robots, actually. But
so those are the 5 parts of the quartet?
yes. The 4 corners and 1 in the middle.
Ah, the 6 House of Mourns, I understand.
But yeah, those are kind of the quintessential mooks you can just mow down in video games that have been used for a very long time. Obviously, you know, there are exceptions, but those are standbys for a reason, you know?
I feel like you're really missing out on like the entirety of the fantasy genre. Because fantasy is full of
zombies,
justifiable victims. There's a lot of monsters in fantasy.
Okay, yes, but this is true, but I do still think that a large portion of those are covered by the demons and zombies clauses.
Rest now. Your schemes are at an end.
What do you know of my work?
I know that you were going to murder Richard and claim Akka for your son Conrad.
For Conrad, my son is an arse, unfit to lead his host, let alone a kingdom. And Richard, the Oncino is no better, blinded as he is by faith in the insubstantial. Acre does not belong to either of them.
Then who?
The city belongs to its people.
How can you claim to speak for the citizens? You stole their food, disciplined them without mercy, forced them into service under you.
Everything I did to prepare them for the new world. Stole their food? No. I took possession so that when the lean times came, it might be rationed properly. Look around. My district is without crime, save those committed by you and your ilk. And as for the conscription, they were not being trained to fight. They were being taught the merits of order and discipline. These things are hardly evil.
No matter how noble you believe your intentions, these acts are cruel and cannot continue.
We'll see how sweet they are, the fruits of your labors. You do not free the cities as you believe, but rather damn them. And in the end, you'll have only yourself to blame. You who speak of good intentions.
There we go. Checkpoint reached.
I still think it's justified in my conspiracy theory that Altair is piece of evil. You cannot have that long of a conversation with 20 dudes just kind of staring at you.
Alternative theory.
What he just said sounds like a load of Amiga.
Okay, oh, this is console gobbledygook for a second.
My alternative theory I will propose is simple. The stand arrow is a piece of Eden, and Altair secretly has Star Platinum. There you go. That's how he can stop time.
No, it wouldn't work.
I didn't say it would work.
The problem with using Star Platinum is when you stop time, you stop it for everyone that's not you.
I feel like you can include people who are really used to it too. I just don't think they usually do.
No.
I don't remember enough about how that works.
No, they're not able.
You might be proving me wrong, but I refuse to listen to your logic.
The thing about stopping time in JoJo when they do it, you don't stop physics, you only stop time, but you do sort of stop physics because it's JoJo and they don't actually have to explain things there.
Wait a minute though. But also you can move in the frozen time.
Yeah, but you can't move yourself in the frozen time. See, the thing is, like, one of the examples that lets them find out about the time stop thing is a character uses they already found out at this point, to screw with Dio. A character,
I'm gonna die.
I think he had...
There we go. I knew that was gonna happen as soon as I did it.
Amazing.
Jar carriers can easily break your cover.
Thank you, tutorial voice.
Oh, hey, I'm back here.
Save the checkpoint.
This is exactly what you want to wake up to.
Yeah.
On your feet, maggots.
Okay, bye guys.
But yeah, like, one time frozen.
Well, that didn't work.
Can use a magnet in your hand and another magnet to pretend you can move in the frozen time even slightly, which is a great way to make an intimidate check. So we know physics works in frozen time, but we also know that someone who's falling when time freezes will just hang there.
But how does King Crimson?
We have no idea because it's King Crimson. Even if we did have a canonical explanation for it,
it would be wrong.
King Crimson would disprove it intentionally, just to mess with us.
Look, all I'm gonna say is, if you have the ability to stop time, using it to do what Dio did to Polnareff is the objective, funniest possible thing you can do with it.
Dio is one of the funniest characters in JoJo.
You just have to manually pick him up, walk all the way down the stairs, walk all the way back up.
It didn't grasp.
He doesn't, and he doesn't even do it once. He does it like 7 times.
That time I was trying to grasp, but I guess there wasn't anything to grasp.
Anything to be a dramatic bitch.
You just really want to keep going back. Aww.
Oh, it's saved.
Right, you got the flag.
Yep.
Well, that's good.
That's way less funny.
You've broken the time loop after only one loop. Congrats.
I feel like that's, at that point, you've just broken the time, which reinforces the Star Platinum argument.
Ow.
Just never climb anything.
Wait, is that the same animation as the Dark Souls 1 animation where you get shot off of a ladder?
Very similar. That might be an inspiration.
Hi, thank you.
Next catch.
Okay, I guess Altair is a good assassin.
Well, I never said he was bad at parkour.
Hey, parkour is the only thing you need to be good at to be a good assassin.
That's why
Mirror's Edge?
what is it? No, Mirror's Edge is a great game. But irrelevant to the point I was about to make, which is, that's why the universe is beyond for Assassin's Creed. The one mechanic they added was free running as the keyword for the Assassin's Creed set.
Right.
I don't know what it does, I just know that's what I saw on the
Wasn't it
the pictures of
variant ninjutsu or something?
I don't know.
I
literally didn't read the card.
I read like 2 of the cards.
I read the Ezio one that got linked, but I didn't. It didn't have the reminder text for the mechanic on it. I didn't look at any others because I don't care.
Yeah, I think it's literally just like variant ninjutsu for a different type.
Yeah, I have so far not bought any Universe Beyond products, and I don't know if I will at any point unless I get one that really, really hits my interests more so than the Doctor Who one, which was pretty on point actually. But I didn't care enough.
A Lord of the Rings one, but it was because I was vacationing, a Lord of the Rings booster pack, but it was because I was vacationing in California and I would have decided it didn't count.
I did pick up like a pack or 2 of that, but like, yeah, it was just kind of a spur of the moment thing. I wasn't really like, I wasn't picking up like a Lord of the Rings Commander deck or anything, so. And that was because it was a full set of the game, standard, legal, and everything. Or was it? Was it straight to modern? I think it was straight to modern. I don't think it was technically standard legal. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't play like ranked formats in Magic. I barely play Magic even when I want to.
Yeah, we really only do like one game most of the time, even in our own group.
One game of Commander per 3 months, if we're lucky.
It's a seasonal event.
But anyway, I'm sure it would be possible for them to pick a thing to release that is a direct targeted critical hit and would get me to buy it, but they have not yet, and despite some of them being pretty close.
Commander 2027 is going to be a Mordred deck.
Okay, I would. If they did Fate decks, I would buy one. Not gonna lie, that would be closer.
Did they do Star Wars yet?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay, because I've seen so many Star Wars Magic decks, and it's the one non-Magic the Gathering thing I've actually played with. Because there's like a million homebrew Star Wars sets for Magic. It's genuinely ridiculous.
I'm gonna go look up what they crossed over with to see if I'm forgetting anything important.
Warhammer 40k, which got some really cool cards. I just don't like Warhammer 40k.
Certain these Arcane Street Fighter, those were just
Don't mind me.
secret layer drops. Yeah, Warhammer. They did a couple of Transformers things. We did get D&D was technically Universes Beyond, but I don't count that since that's
we did get
in-house
D&D.
and also like on theme so much. Lord of the Rings, Doctor Who.
Right, D&D gave us gate cards. D&D gave us like 5 new gates, didn't it?
We got a mechanically unique Laura Croft card? When the hell did that happen?
What?
Green, blue, red, first strike, reach 3/4. Whenever she attacks, exile up to one target legendary artifact or legendary land from your graveyard with a discovery counter on it. You may play a card from exile with a discovery counter on it this turn.
William of
If you
Montferrat
attack
is
this
dead.
turn at the end of turn,
With
create a
him his
treasure
plans
token.
for
Okay,
betrayal.
that's a fairly...
You've done well keeping Akka from his
Why didn't they give her Explore?
When the Crusaders
I don't know.
require unity
That would
most.
fit.
Could have waited.
Because they decided to focus on
Waited for what?
artifacts and...
For Richard to return
that
and
also
discover
works.
his
Like,
schemes?
legendary artifacts
No.
and legendary lands
It was
does
the
kind of
perfect
fit the
time
Tomb
for him
Raider
to
thing.
strike.
Like,
Strange.
that
I was
works.
sure he meant to take
that
Akka
makes
for
sense to me.
Conrad. Yet he claimed
Yeah.
this was not his plan.
That's fair.
Also, the
You
treasure
cannot trust the
tokens, yeah.
words
Trying
of
to
a
add
snake,
explore on top of
which
that.
even in
would-
death
That would
produces
add it.
venom.
Basically, explore
I should
specifically
discuss
land
this with
synergy, which doesn't
Anwar.
really strike
Yes, my
as
friend.
fitting in that
Make
sense, I
haste
guess.
for Marcia.
Something
I am
Explore
sure he is
esque,
eager
though.
for news.
I could not necessarily land synergy, but something in the style of the mechanic itself.
Yeah.
Like
To be fair,
legendary artifact
treasure
type
tokens,
synergy
treasure tokens
effect?
and raid are both Ixalan mechanics, so she is
Sure.
using Ixalan style mechanics,
That's fair.
just not explore specifically. Anyway,
But Explore is the only mechanic I like from Ixalan.
Assassin's Creed. Oh yeah, this is supposed to be right. We got the Fallout thing, and then next year we're scheduled for Final Fantasy and Marvel. We don't know the specifics.
Final Fantasy should be interesting.
I am going to be dreading both of those.
I can't decide whether I'm. No, actually, I can. I'm not happy about it. I'm still not happy about Universes Beyond.
Okay.
I've done as
Okay, if they do a lightning-themed commander deck, are you going to buy it?
I
Okay.
sense your thoughts are elsewhere.
There's a lot of decks
your
I'd
mind.
want to play
Each man I'm sent to
from
kill
Final
speaks
Fantasy and
descriptive words to
Magic.
me.
There's a
Each time I
lot.
come to you and ask
Yeah,
for
I just
answers.
mean like, would that
I'm
mean
not
you've
sure
only
I'm
been
willing
buying
to give
no
Wizards of
more.
the Coast money anymore,
are
though.
you
It's the big
no
limitation.
Would you buy a single
I'm the one who
copy
does
of
the
the
killing.
lightning card
If you want it to continue,
for
you'll
like
speak straight
$5
with me for
online?
once.
Tread
If it was like
carefully,
costed
boy.
about that much,
I do not like your tone.
just to have in your
And
collection.
I do
I
not
genuinely
like your
don't know.
deception.
I have offered
It'd
you
have
a
to be a
chance
really
to
good
restore
card.
your lost honor.
But
Not
even
lost.
then, I'm not sure I
Taken.
would.
Are
By
there
you.
any Final
And then
Fantasy
you send me
characters,
to fetch it
specific
again
characters,
like
that
some
would be
damn
enough for you to
dog?
buy their
It
specific
seems
legendary
I'll
card
need
just
to
to have,
find another. A shame.
even if you're not
You
necessarily
showed
planning
great
on using
potential.
particular? Because
I
there
think
anyone
if you
that
had
like, would
another,
be
you would have
that?
sent him long ago.
No, I'm going through the
You
games.
said the answer
FF1,
to my
no.
question would
FF2,
arise when I no
FF3.
longer needed to ask it. So I will not
No.
ask.
I
I demand
FF1
you
would
tell
be
me what
actually, I
binds
think,
these
a
men.
well done enough Warrior of Light,
what you
iconic
say.
Like
legendary.
Dissidia style?
These
Yeah.
men
Yeah.
are connected.
Or the
by
same
blood
kind of
oath,
concept as what they
not
do in
unlike our
14
own.
of the Warrior of Light as a
Who are
well,
they?
you know?
Sure, yeah.
No
Like, that
nobis,
could maybe
nomine,
get
non
me to
nobis.
pull the trigger.
Templars.
I might get a Terra
Now you see the
Branford
true
card.
reach of Robert de Sá.
Maybe.
All of these men, leaders of cities, commanders of armies.
All pledge allegiance to his cause.
Their works are not meant
Bran
to be
wouldn't
viewed
have a
on their
fun
own, are
mechanic,
they?
so I wouldn't get hurt.
But as a whole, what do they desire?
Conquest. They seek the Holy Land not in the name of God, but for
I might get a
themselves.
Yuffie.
What of Richard? Salah-ad-Din?
Any who oppose the Templars will be destroyed. Be assured they have the means to accomplish it.
Then they must be stopped.
There's a few characters I
is why
definitely
we do
consider
our
from the
work,
series,
Altair.
but
Yeah.
no one I
ensure a
definitely
future
buy.
free of
Even
such
my favorite
things.
characters. I just
Why did you
don't
hide
like
the truth
Universe
from me?
Beyond.
That's fair. Yeah,
That
neither
you
do I,
might
which is why I
guess
haven't
the
bought anything
veil
specific.
yourself.
Like, I like the idea behind
Any
it, but
task,
I don't think they were like Lord of the
precedes
Rings was like.
Information learned
I
is
didn't
more
really
valuable than
like that one was
information given.
felt a little different to me.
Besides,
Right,
your
like
recent
it, obviously,
behavior
like
had
it
not
is kind of in there,
inspired
but
much
it's like sort of
confidence.
kind of like D&D.
see.
To me, it kind of existed in a half
Altair,
space
your
where it
mission
felt like
has
a
not
more
changed.
natural sort of thing to
Merely the
have as a
context
crossover.
within
It
which
didn't
you
really
perceive.
feel like it was
And armed
diluting.
with this
It
knowledge,
helps
I
that
might
they're
better
they're
understand those
close.
Templars that
They're
remain.
closer to the same genre
Is there
than
anything
Magic
else?
the Gathering,
Yeah,
like
definitely that was part of it.
Warhammer
What about
40k.
That's why I really
Retrieved
hated like
from
the inclusion of the
Solomon's
the Walking Dead
Robert
stuff
seemed
that kind of
desperate
kicked
to
it
have
off.
it back.
Oh yeah, don't.
But yeah, like
In time,
the D&D
Altair,
thing was getting
all
house
will
crossover.
become
Like Lord of the
clear.
Rings, it's like okay,
Just as the
Lord of the
role of
Rings
the
kind of
Templars has revealed
clicks.
itself to
You know,
you,
especially with the
so
huge number
too
of
will the
legendary
nature of
cards
the
and the
treasure.
variant, the variant
For
stuff.
now,
Like it
take
really
comfort in the fact
made sense to
that
me.
it is
It
not
helped
in
that
their
Lord of the
hands,
Rings cards
but
actually were
ours.
like generally
your
speaking
desire.
pretty cool.
It is.
Like mechanically, fuck
You are
wise,
restored another rank.
they came off as very
Take back your
interesting.
weapon.
I like the
Use
ring bearer
it to
mechanic,
bring
but you
honor
know
to
that
the
was just
Brotherhood.
one thing.
I thought the ring bearer mechanic was
Altair,
interesting.
before you
It was
go-
very. I liked it because it was very experimental.
Yeah, it was
How
just a
did you
lot of
know I
complex
wouldn't
overhead
kill
for something that isn't printed on the card that gives it to you.
Told
Yeah,
Master.
it's essentially
I didn't.
pseudo commander in a
I
lot
took
of
a leap
ways.
of faith.
Yeah.
That's how my. That's what I think it started as, some sort of pseudo commander mechanic. That said, I do like what they did with Amass in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that was a nice.
All right. All right.
So what did we learn this time?
Extra throwing knives.
Oh, we know how to carry more stuff.
Yeah, now that's a lesson I would take.
Okay, I'm going to head to Jerusalem and then get to the Bureau. I think that's probably a good place to call it for the stream for tonight.
That's fair.
Okay, that is pretty good. I went to go look at the Assassin's Creed University Beyond cards because I only saw like a couple of them. Ezio's still there. Assassin's Creed. So, yeah, free
When you are
running was
exposed, tackle people who are
not
in your way to
ninjutsu, but it was an
maintain
alt cost.
momentum and utilize your sprint ability when the
Specifically,
path
if
is clear.
a assassin or commander dealt damage to a player this turn, you can cast the card for its free running cost.
Okay.
And Ezio specifically means you can pay 2 black for any.
That's actually pretty interesting.
Any assassin card.
I think there's
as
a
long as you've
whole
dealt
dial
damage that
Safety
turn.
Why
and
would
peace, man.
Ezio be connected to
Where
the
that the city
monocolored
was possessed
black?
of either.
But I'll tell
Why
you
do
who
you
was.
trouble
I'll tell
me
you. I
today?
don't remember seeing. I'll tell you it
Al-Mualim
was
has marked
Marduk.
Majd-ud-Din for death. What can you tell me about
3/3
him?
first strike.
Salahuddin's absence
Whenever he
has left the
attacks,
city
exile
without a
up to one
proper
target
leader.
assassin creature from
And
the graveyard with a
Majd-ud-Din
memory
has appointed
counter on it.
himself to play
Then
the
for each
part.
creature you own in exile with a memory
Fear
counter
and
on it, create a
intimidation
tap
get
an
him what he
attacking
wants.
token that's a copy of it,
He has no true
which you
claim to
exile
the
at the end of
position.
combat.
That ends today.
For Altair?
You speak
Yeah.
too readily.
I would have probably
This is
given
not
that to
some slaver
Desmond
we're
personally.
He
Maybe.
rules Jerusalem and is well
It
protected
sort of
because
fits
it.
how Altair
I
wields the Peace
suggest
of Eden.
you plan your
But
attack
there's
There's no way to
That might be
Get
what
to
it's
better
about,
know your
actually.
trade.
No.
With your help, I will.
Mostly just
Where
kind of
would
the
you have me
memory
begin
counter
my
thing was
search?
making me think
What's
of like.
this?
You're actually maybe
asking for
Desmond
my
does
assistance
like an
instead of
Ur-Dragon
demanding
thing
it.
where you can like copy
impressed.
any assassin in your
Yeah,
graveyard for the
You
turn.
wish.
Like
Here's
turn
what
the
I-
That
card.
would be awesome.
Like a
To the
maybe not
southwest
Ur-Dragon,
of
like a
the mosque.
Scion of the Ur-Dragon. I think
After
can
that,
mill
head south of here.
a dragon
There are
from
two
your
locations
deck
that
to
might
your
interest
graveyard
you.
and copy it for this
The
turn.
southernmost church is one.
For example,
The other is in the States.
having a Desmond
Near
that
Senegal.
does something kind of like that.
Thank you for your
No,
help, Dad.
Lazav
Don't
Demir
foul this
Mastermind
Altair.
style Desmond. Whenever an assassin dies,
Thank you.
maybe it's something similar to free running in ninjutsu actually. When a assassin dies, you can cast Desmond for a variant cost, and he enters the battlefield in their place. Type
Maybe.
effect.
But
Or as a copy of them.
basically, he should have a copy effect. He
Yeah.
should absolutely have a copy effect.
Okay,
100%.
So this is probably a good place to call it.
That's fair. All right.
But thank you for joining us.
Yeah, glad to have you.
It's been good. Been real.
Yeah.
Well, not real. It's all digital, but you get the idea.
Yep. We hope you all have a good night. And
And
yeah.
with unless anything goes wrong, We'll be back again sometime next Thursday to continue on from here.
Yep.
Around the same time. Bye.
Yep, same bat time, same bat channel.
See ya. Yep, see you.
South comes the English
That'd be great.